What's going on, you guys? It's about Hell24 here, and welcome back to Return to the Portrait. Now, the game isn't up. The game is not loaded at the moment. That is because when we last left this off, we find out that Monica, Redinger, and Sayori, of all people, have this weird third eye. That's apparent from when Linda tried to corrupt the game in order to force it to run arbitrary code. It output this purge log file. And in this purge log file, the game attempted to delete everyone from the game. However, things aren't as they seem because I couldn't remove Linda and Renier because they weren't canon characters to the game. But what I find weird is that even though Linda isn't a canon character to the game still designated her with admin status, which is a little weird. And we know for a fact that Renier has a third eye, but what's weird is that Renier doesn't have admin status. But what we also found out is that Sayori, the sweet and innocent Sayori, has this third eye. So, we tried to run a test at the end of the stream. And that test in the game was, what would happen if someone who has admin and the third eye, what happens if they were to, shed blood, or, spill someone else's blood? Like, what would happen? Because we know what happens when, someone sheds blood and they just have the third eye. But what happens when, you compound the fact that someone has admin status as well? What will that do? So, Monica, said that she would be the one to try this out. And Renier was the tribute for, seeing what happens. So Monica stabbed Renier. And, when that happened, her third eye opened. But, what also happened, not only did her third eye open, but she became like a literal god of the game, and just started deleting everything. And when we last left off, she destroyed the deep script, and just deleted pretty much everything. All the characters are gone. Even Markov, Alyssa, and Libertina. Those files. What's gonna happen when I load the game up is it's just gonna hop right into it. There's gonna be no splash screen or anything. The game crashed at the end of last stream. That was intended. When I load this up, the game's just gonna start up. There's gonna be no setup, no anything. It's just gonna start right the fuck up. So, without further ado, let's load the game and see what kind of crazy shit happens today. So, with that recap out of the way, let's load the game. And let's see what the hell happens. Alright, so Sayori's here. It hurts. The star character Sayori. Oh shit. So Sayori was a star. Just right here. I'm sorry for the gagging. Combo of allergies again. Allergies fucking suck. Yeah. But yeah, Sayori CHR is in here now. Sayori's been restored to the game. Hell yeah. Huh? Oh, this is where my computer dies. This is where my computer fucking dies, because I can't render this space room scene all that well. My computer's running at a crisp 20 FPS right now. Perfect. That's not your stream buffering. That is my computer, because it it dies whenever we're in this space room. Oh, tell me it. I come to my senses. Sayori? Bat! Sayori asks me tightly. I hold her for a minute without speaking, still traumatized from being stabbed. Oh, Christ. It hurts so much. I'm so glad you're okay. Sayori's voice is stifled by tears. I'm glad you're okay too. I was so scared I'd have to see you die again. What happened to everyone else? I don't know. Can you restore them? I'll try. Restore character Natsuki. Natsuki restored. Oh god. Restore character Yuri. Yuri restored. Matt, you okay? Restore Renier. Renier's restored. Gah! Restore Linda. Unknown error. Character missing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So, restoring Linda retrieves an unknown error, and Monica is just straight up missing. I couldn't restore... Character missing. And where's Linda? What? For Monica it says character missing, for Linda just says unknown error. Okay. Let's not panic. Linda had trouble restoring the rescue yet first after the purge. So nice to it possible. What? What happened if the Monica killed me? She... Sayori starts sobbing too hard to speak. She lost control and tried to stab Sayori. And ended up killing me, Natsuki, and Yuri. I tried to delete her, but it won't even work. Damn it. Was my DR room? I don't know. I think Monica tried eventually. I'm confused about how it ended. Well, I think she tried to just straight up delete everything. But I think Linda deleted me when I tried to stop Monica, and then deleted herself. And she used the OK boxes to talk Monica into remembering her purpose. But I don't know if it worked. Linda must have thought Monica's eye was open and more fuel would just push her father into insanity. So maybe... Well, we ended up here and all, so Monica must have done something, right? I hope so. Wait a minute. Shouldn't we try starting a new game? That might help get Linda and Monica back. I didn't think of that. Can I try saving? I'm gonna try saving and see if I can... Oh. About starting a new game. It isn't in very good condition right now, but... Did you try setting your names yet? I'm named Monica. The star character Monica. Nope. Nope. That didn't work. The main menu is in very good condition right now. Yeah, no official logo. Because if you look, there's no official logo. It's just that. The menu is in very good condition. Figures. Also, Monica's gone from the main menu. Ah! What? Hold on, no panic. Linda ran into an error. No such character when trying to restore you after the purge. Even if the air message system is different. Assuming that doesn't mean she's gone forever. Maybe I can try and manually put her in? Will you give me the option to do that? Well, I guess we did. Thanks for noticing. Yuri, you're really bad at fighting back against her. I just want you to know I thought that. Huh? Well, thanks. Well, there's one way to find out if it worked, right? Yuri? Oh, the book! The book! Yes, I have it. Yuri pulls at the book. Let's get ready to find out if it worked. We're all dreading the reveal so much. She removes the book at a snail's pace. She puts her hand on the cover and opens the book. I flinch, but nothing happens. Whatever Monica did worked. I think her deleting the deep script or making the deep scripts not work is what is causing us to actually be able to read the contents of Pushing a Markov. Oh, crash. Let's take a peek at the page myself. It's there. Real words. She did it! Monica deleted the script! Wow. Okay, so by the way, I just want to let everyone know that, Linda and Monica are not in here because they can't be restored for some reason. Even after setting their name, they can't be restored. So we only have these 4 characters in here as of right now. Don't know when we're gonna be able to see Linda and Monica again, but, yeah, I don't know. Wow. She got control of it. It was all worth it. Oh yes, perfect time to see the homie Markov. I don't know. I mean, we're about to read the portrait of Markov, and there's no game crash this time, so we'll actually be able to read it and see what lies inside the book. I was right. Now it's time to find out the truth. Here we go. Here we go. Portrait of Markov. Portrait of Markov starts like the novel I remember Yuri describing in Act 1. The main character is called Alyssa. Chapter 1 introduces her as being the way I remember her, second-guessing herself a lot, similar to Yuri. Transferring to new school, Alyssa moves into a dorm with her long-lost younger sister, Maria. The chapter exposits a lot of family background. Their parents divorced a few years ago, and each ended up with one kid, the mother with Alyssa. Maria was sent to the school she's at now some time ago, and now Alyssa's being moved there too. There's an abandoned-looking warehouse in the town that Alyssa notes like something out of a dream. While reading between classes the same day, Alyssa is approached by a man who asks her about the book she is reading. When she tells him it's a supernatural horror book, he gets very interested and they get into a long discussion about the world being an illusion and other meta concepts. Kind of like what Monica was telling the girls. Yo, Greg, what's going on, dude? Watching from bed? Hell yeah. How are you doing today? We just started and, we can't, for some reason, Sarah, you can't restore Linda and Monica because the game just crashed in a weird way. But Monica did delete the script, which is cool because now we can actually read Portrait of Markov. Like, we can actually read and see what the fuck this book is about. The man who identifies himself as Mr. Markov Eventually he says he has to go, but before he does, I must tell you something. Something you will need. The key is 158. Day off from work, making the most of it? Hell yeah! Day off from work is always a good day. The key to what? Does he mean the warehouse? You will know. Good luck, Alyssa. Alyssa stares in shock as he walks away. There's no one else around to see. Wait. In the good ending, there's this repeated motif of 158, 158. It's all throughout the mod. Does 158 mean that weird warehouse? Or is it something a lot more pertaining to Markov and the portrait of Markov? I think it's less about the third eye and more about what's been going on at that warehouse. I don't know. Once Alice's class is all finished, she goes to the warehouse and finds that Mr. Markov's code opens it. She looks around inside. She finds a room with what looks like a giant pit of water. And then she finds dead bodies. 2 of them, wearing police uniforms and surrounded by pools of blood. Before Alyssa can even run, a voice says, "Alyssa, stop." Alyssa jerks her head around to find a teenage girl pointing a gun at her. Alyssa startles, but is smart enough not to run. She killed the police? What do you want? I'm sorry, but we need you to help us. Oh, help with what? Oh no. The girl starts shaking. Oh no, run! The girl gets so tired and points the gun away momentarily. Alyssa runs and makes it out. She runs all the way back to her dorm before stopping. She immediately suspects Markov of sending her into a trap and plans to tell Maria what happened and ask for advice. But Maria isn't at the dorm and does not pick up her phone. Alyssa leaves her voice message and then calls the police, who thank her for the report. Chapter 2 cuts to different characters, as before. 3 people named Daniel, Claire, and Abby arrive in the city. Daniel is a POV character. Dialogue between them hints that they're on a mission to capture and interrogate one of the cultists to get to Markov. Looks like the old warehouse is still there. And still looks dilapidated. Apparently, they just don't care what goes on in town as long as the facility stays secret. Not forget though, we can sleep in there. Our plan will have better chances at night, with fewer civilians around. Remembering the code, they enter the abandoned warehouse. This place brings back all the bad memories. I know. With luck, this won't be long. I'm gonna have nightmares for sure sleeping in this place. Claire sighs. We best get it over with. Okay, so this warehouse is home to testing? Some like really weird testing? Huh. Like I said, I forget all about what happens in this part. So, this is not me acting, this is me genuinely being like, what the hell? I don't know. Tonight, we're probably either gonna get a plan in motion, or lose everything. We just have to keep telling ourselves that not trying is failure. The 3 mysterious people set up for sleep with makeshift beds in a farther back room. They awoken a few hours later by the sounds of others entering the building. And I think that's the 2 policemen that we saw dead earlier. They get up immediately and ready their guns, which the narration hasn't mentioned they have yet. I thought they didn't use this place anymore. This is lucky we already have our lead. They listen. So, we're just waiting in this dang place until Alyssa shows up without knowing how long that'll be or she'll even come? Yes, that's what the prophet said. We will carry out our orders. Ooh. Were they sent by Markov? Were they sent by Markov to kidnap Alyssa? Oh, this is juicy. This is very juicy. This is it. I don't know what they're doing here, but we gotta jump them. Okay, so that's Markov's, cultists, if you will. Because we know that Markov runs a cult. And these people just willingly obey him and accept whatever weird and inhumane experiments happen. Even if it leads in death. Daniel, do you think it's just to them? What's his help in the footsteps? I think so. So, can we surprise them with gunpoint and make them surrender? I don't think we can risk shooting them. Agreed. We need at least one alive anyway. The room they're in has 2 doors. We're going through both. Move as slow as you have to keep your feet silent. Count of 60 from now, we'll ambush them. Daniel and Abby head around through the other doorway. Then the 3 jump out and take the cultists at gunpoint. The cultists exchange a few swists to drop their guns. What are you doing here? We're assigned to... Shut up! Don't tell them that! You've got 2 seconds to talk. We're assigned to wait here until Kate and Alyssa shows up. The Prophet wanted to see if she would come and take her for testing, and she did. My blood boils being reminded of those experiments. We're learning more and more about these characters. Daniel, Abby, and Claire were experimented on in the past, presumably by Markov. This book is more important than we all realized. Like, we knew this book was gonna be important, but this is telling all about what the fuck. Monsters! Oh, Daniel shoots him. Daniel, wait! Once I feel the rush, I don't hesitate to shoot the other one, and they put a second bullet in both of them to finish them off before Abby can even stop me. Each shot is so viscerally satisfying. Third eye. Third eye. This is third eye. No! We need them alive! Coming to my senses, I let Abby wrestle the gun from me and bury my head in my hands. I knew instantly I messed up, but it was too strong. The images already burned in. Images of the bullets tearing apart their flesh and... Daniel, don't! Think about something happier! I'm sorry, Yo, Sakura, what's going on, dude? Yep. Hydration, I have water. I'm sorry, I fell us. We might have been so close. I'm really sorry. So, what has happened so far, Sakura, is we started the game. Sarah was able to restore her, Natsuki, Yuri, and Renier, but was not able to restore Monica and Linda. Linda's character returned to an unknown error, and Monica's character file returned a character missing. So both of them are essentially wiped from the game. They're gone. But what Monica did is deleted the script. So now we're reading the portion of Markov. Like, actually reading it, instead of the game crashing on us. We're actually reading this book. I'm really sorry. I didn't think our condition was that bad. I'm so sorry. It's not a way. So whatever Monica did, like deleting the script and stuff, that made us able for us to read this book. This is some crazy shit. It's not a waste. We still got some information. It sounds like this Alyssa probably spoke to Markov. We need to find her. But in case she's on her way, we should leave one of us here. But who are we gonna leave? I don't want to split up. I shouldn't be near the dead bodies. Especially not alone. Yeah. I think Abby's the safest. Huh? Me? None of us want to be the one, but you have a better track record than I do. But... Please? Well... If you really think it's the best idea, then I'll trust your judgment, Claire. Thank you. Chapter 3 cuts back to Alyssa. A few minutes later, a knock comes at the door. Alyssa startles. Who is it? The voice is calm but forceful. The police. We need you to come with us. But why? I already told you everything I know. You are required to cooperate. Open the door. Is this for lie detectors or something? We don't want to waste. Open the door immediately. It has to be another report. What could be happening that they need me to go with them and can't tell me anything? Hope they aren't no good. Having no choice, Alyssa opens the door. The police begin to lead her away. Where are we going? Can you just... No. This is confidential. Alyssa closes her mouth. Are you being arrested? Did I find out something I wasn't supposed to? That Markov. Who was he and what was he up to? The police leader outside. During the walk, two inconspicuous bystanders, an adolescent boy and girl, reveal guns and the girl shoots both cops while the boy points the gun at other nearby civilians to keep them off her. Their guns are apparently suppressed. It's not the girl from the warehouse though. As she shoots additional bullets into the dead police while screaming maniacally, Alyssa runs while neither is pointing the gun at her. Alyssa, wait! We need you to come with us! Same months ago in the West, the police said, we're not the bad guys! I don't know what's going on here, but I need to get out of here and think. Alyssa ditches her phone in case it could be used to track her. As the sun sets, she runs as far away as she can, outside the town. What do I do? For all I know, most of the police and those kids are after me. No one in the town's safe. I need to find Maria. If they're after me, they might go after her too. The dorm is a terrible, dangerous place for her to be. I have to warn her! Alyssa heads back towards town. She figures she can't safely go through the dorm, so she'll use a public phone booth to call Maria. Alyssa rehearses what she's going to say intensively and spends a minute fretting about it before dialing the call. Oh boy. Hello? Thank goodness she's there. Maria, Alyssa, thank goodness I found out about the shooting when we went back to the dorm. You in the dorm? Yeah. Thought the dorm was a dangerous place to be, then it might be a trap. So what the hell happened? Alyssa tells the whole story so far. The hell? Well, I don't know what to do. But it's probably safer in the dorm than where you are right now. With both of the weed people and probably the police after you. I didn't want to go back to the dorm because I thought it'd be a trap. But I guess you're right. I have nowhere else to go. Don't do it. It's still a trap. Don't fall for it. Okay, I'll be waiting for you. Okay, goodbye. Alyssa hangs up. She makes way to the dorm and arrives safely. But as Maria opens the door to let her in, a forceful voice from behind speaks, stirring Alyssa too badly through the first thing she says. She looks behind to see a woman with a gun. Alyssa, I need you to come with me. I'm an undercover cop. Although she's not in uniform, she retrieves and shows a badge. Yeah, she missed the morning to catch me and just stayed incognito when Maria arrived. Why didn't I think Maria not getting into trouble was proof it was safe for me to come here? Alyssa glances at Maria, whose face mirrors her own feelings. Why? What do you want? You tried to arrest me before. For nothing. You mean the two guys who got killed earlier? They were trying to help catch murderers and died for it. Show some respect. Alyssa hesitates a tiny bit after that. It's not the kind of emotional appeal she would have expected from the bad guys. But what do I have to do with this? Why did you take me away without telling me where or why if you aren't up to no good? Alyssa realizes she's being very loud, but isn't sure if that's good or bad. We need to cross the new. We're not going to hurt you. Then what the hell's with the gun? Put it away. Sorry, I'm on range from the killings. The targets have killed 4 officers in the last 12 hours. The woman puts the gun downward, but doesn't put it away. you have questions to ask me, but I've told you everything I know. Look, you need to cooperate now, before this ends up like last time. Chance. It has to be something I can do. Alyssa takes a look behind her. She decides to dash back into her dorm, thinking the cop probably can't shoot her before she makes the dorm police order to take her alive anyway. Hey, where are you going? Alyssa takes a large nap from the kitchen and eyes. The narration's a little vague about the layout of the dormitory, but I think she's around the corner waiting to ambush the cop. Alyssa hears footsteps and has to figure out who a woman is. She has a second to start and then sounds of fighting, including Maria's voice. Alyssa rushes out of her hiding spot. Riri's attacking the officer with a broom and has her momentarily distracted. She must have realized Alyssa's plan and knew how to make it work. Alyssa takes the opportunity to stab the officer in the back of the neck. The officer shouts in surprise and pain and tries to turn around, but with Maria keeping at least one of her arms busy, Alyssa's able to stab her a second time, this one in the stomach. The officer is soon crippled by stab wounds and collapsing. Alyssa continues to stab her. That's right. So what happens when you threaten me and my sister? I stab her again. Alyssa, wait! We should interrogate her! I stab her again. Each blow feels so viscerally satisfying. Alyssa, stop! Maybe that's right, I should stop. But I won't stab one killer. I stab her once more. Alyssa! Just one last time. Finally, we tackles Alyssa. She wrestles the knife away. I felt like it just snapped out of my control. What was I just doing? That was so irresponsible of me. She has a third eye as well. So Alyssa has the third eye as well. I look at the officer collapse on the floor. She's totally dead. Disturbing to look at. What was I thinking? What the hell got into you? I don't know. We need to run. Everyone in the neighborhood heard that. Alyssa gets up and the sisters start to flee. I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me. Apparently no one else is outside. Most people in town have only staying in touch with fear of the shootings, but probably someone in the nearby dormitory called the police about this. Alyssa and Maria run for their lives and manage to escape the city area without running into any more cops. So, Alyssa had the third eye from the start. Yuri, do you think Alyssa's you? Yeah? Well, now that you mention it, she acts like you said you found her relatable before, and she has a third eye. It's not conclusive, but it's a good theory. I mean, that does make sense. Yuri exhibits a lot of the, personality, features of Alyssa. And Alyssa has a third eye, Yuri has a third eye. They both feel satisfaction from spilling blood, whether it's their own blood or someone else's blood. I'm calling it right now. Yuri's Alyssa. Yuri is Alyssa. Find out who the other characters are. We start chapter 4. Alyssa and Maria stop running away as we're in the city and the surrounding forest. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to me. I heard you before. You don't think I'm crazy, do you? It sounds a lot like how you described the girl who rescued you acting when she shot the police. I don't know. What if it was the same thing? What if I was some kind of condition and I'm going to lose control again? What if that was why Markov wasn't interested in me? He could tell? Yuri is a segment of Alyssa. Maybe Yuri is Alyssa. And Alyssa broke out of whatever it was and changed her name to fit in to the school. But the segmentation error occurred when we tried to add Linda. So again, this is going back to why the hell does Linda have admin powers? Like, that's the main question. Who the hell is Linda, and why is the game designating her admin powers? That's... I don't know, this is all fucky. This is all fucky, but I think we'll learn more as we go on. Okay, stop getting behind my fuel. Sorry. This place is spooky enough. I guess we'll sleep on the first floor, huh? This is bullcrap. I'm sorry I got you involved. Whatever. Let's just try to get at least a little bit of sleep. We'll think about what to do tomorrow. They wake up with the sunrise. Linda has the same thoughts of you as a whole? Maybe, I don't know. There's something weird going on here. Because Renier doesn't have admin powers, but Linda does have admin powers. So why didn't the game just give both Linda and Renier admin powers? Why is Linda the one that has it and Renier isn't? They both come from the same spot, ideally, I think. I don't know. They have plans for Maria to go back into town, since she isn't wanted as far as they know. Try to find a safe way to get them both out of the city. Alyssa waits until the sun is almost at high noon, but Maria never comes back. Eventually, miserable and hungry, Alyssa decides something must be wrong and heads into town herself. She runs into her dad near the phone booth. Dad? Thank God Alyssa found you. Alyssa figures Maria must have called them to get help. Dad, where's Maria? Maria was arrested. No! I found out when I arrived. She was suspected of killing the officer. No. Narration reveals that Alyssa's dad is a cop. She doesn't know how much she knows about that situation, so she lives like it didn't happen. What are they talking about? The police are saying she had a blood-stained knife on her. I forgot. She never gave it back to me. Don't worry, I don't believe the accusation for a second. Someone must have framed her. But that's not true. I can't tell him the truth without her turning him against me, can I? I couldn't do anything about it. For the catastrophe, Rennie was to play interface since he is male. Is that applicable? I mean, before the catastrophe, Renier, whatever this catastrophe is, before it, everyone was doing fine, and then Renier saw something happen. But if he's the player interface, then why doesn't the MC know what happened before? Or maybe the MC himself was a player interface and just didn't know what happened until the base game. Because he has no knowledge of anything like that. So, what if the player interface is a character and his memory is only from when the game starts up, is when the game starts? That would explain why he has knowledge of everything in the base game. Because canonically, that is when the MC started existing. The MC came to life as soon as the base game started. Everything was fine till MC saw the overhang. That is true, but Monica... You have to think Monica was causing all of this stuff to happen. So... I don't know, maybe Renier saw something similar? But on a much bigger scale? And whatever it was caused the entire world to, essentially stop existing? That's interesting. That's an interesting thing about. That is very interesting to think about. What if Renier saw something similar to the whole MC Sing theory? Not in first acts? What? Monica was not quick enough in first act. I mean, Monica caused Sayuri to have super advanced depression. So I don't know what the hell happened. Or are you talking about when Sarah became president? And then everything went to shit. Is that what you're talking about? When Monica deleted Sayori. Delay's too long. I'm sorry that the delay is long. I don't know why. My stream is just kind of not good. Anyway, I continue. I couldn't do anything about it. But I promise I'll find out who's really behind all this, but stop to it all. And first, I'm gonna get you to safety. Alyssa tries to hide her suspicion and goes along with him. Then drive out of the city. During the drive, Alyssa's dad's phone rings. Shit! Forgot to me while I'm driving. Alyssa, turn it off. Alyssa picks up his phone to mute it, but it says the call's from her. It's from my phone. Dad swerves. Damn, answer it then! Whoever has your phone out of information. Alyssa answers the call. Is Alyssa around? Alyssa sweats immediately and telling me it was from her phone. No. Almost 20 seconds of delay. Really? That much delay? Can I change string delay? Try turning on low latency in your Twitch settings. Should be a little cog on the player. You can click it and then go to advanced and then turn on low latency. And maybe that'll help. Alyssa sweats immediately regarding telling me it was from her phone. No. Who's this? I can't figure out his voice. I don't want Dad to talk to you because she might incriminate me. Alyssa hangs up. Who was it? I don't know. She hung up. Huh. Alyssa meets the phone afterwards and kisses the girl on the other end and tries to call again. Her dad didn't explicitly say not to, after all, and if he knows that she can claim she wanted to uphold safe driving, he never notices when they pull into his house. It's just the two of them here. Her dad says he's going to go back and use his status as a cop to do some investigating. Alyssa wishes to block hiding how relieved she is at his departure. Chapter 5 starts. Alyssa's left alone with no way of help. She goes online and reads the news reports on the killing was into town. She was in case there's anything coming out that she didn't know about, but there isn't. She decides the only thing for her to do is to find out the phone booth and call her mother. Alyssa tells her everything except how she Maria killed the officer. Her mom's panicking and says she's going to drive over immediately before she hits the fan from horror. Having no other recourse, Alyssa goes back home for the rest of the day. Late that evening, an knock comes at the door. There's a flap in the door that can be used to peek. Alyssa looks through it and sees the girl from the warehouse and the two from the shooting. They identify her two through the flap. Alyssa, we need you. And Alyssa bolts back to her. But then before fleeing, she stops. After what I've seen, I don't know that this is a malintent. All the people I've seen in Hill were police. Which means they might be in the same situation as me. I don't have any other recourse. These kids. I have to talk to them. They may only help by rescuing Maria and getting to the bottom of this. Alyssa stops and lets the kids catch up to her. Alyssa, we need your help. Okay, I'm not running anymore. What do you want? Thank you. Okay. We need your help stopping the cult that runs the human experiment person we escaped from. We were test subjects there. They tortured us so badly that I stopped me from killing myself, and now they're after you too. Alyssa swallows. Alright, tell me. The escapees named themselves. The girl who spoke first was Claire, the second was Abby. That Mr. Markov you talked to is a prophet. The others follow him with blind loyalty. Their facility extends a supernatural force called the Third Eye, known for making subjects possessed by blood loss when activated. And they believe it's cultivated by pain. Alyssa gives a moment of silence, imagining what they must do in their experiments. But we were lucky compared to the other prisoners. Finally, after years of their cruelty, we managed to use the power of a third eye to escape. And did you try to get help? Well, that's the thing. We already knew that Markov cult controls the government behind the scenes. That's how the bastards get funding for it. We think most of the police force is ignorant, but Markov controls leadership, and the ones that on cultists, he just tells false stories like that you were suspected of being an accomplice to us. We couldn't get the police to help, and we had no memory of where we came from before we were prisoners there. So we just ran. We found a remote town with employers who wouldn't ask questions and lived there for a while, trying to forget about what had been done to us and regain our sanity. We thought that with Markov toying with forces he doesn't understand, and there'd eventually be a disaster over there, and he and his cultists would end up killed by their experiments. But that never happened. And so you came back? We came back because I realized we had no choice. What do you mean? Claire sighs. The realization was taking me an entire year since the escape of freedom from between the same walls as our unholy establishment. No way! No way! Claire's Monica. Claire had the same epiphany that Monica had. So, Claire is Monica. So, Yuri's Alyssa, Claire's Monica, Sari's Abby, and maybe Renier is Daniel? No, is that Daniel or Renier Daniel? Who's Daniel? Wait, who's Renier then? So Natsuki might be Maria, Yuri's Alyssa, Sari's Abby, Mark is Claire, and the MC is Daniel. It would not make sense for Renier to be Markov. I don't think Renier's Markov. Renier has to be like someone else in the story. Maybe Alyssa's dad? Could he be Alyssa's dad? I was thinking earlier that I liked her. Yeah, exactly! Alyssa and Maria's dad. Exactly. Maybe I'm Natsuki's real father after all? It all fits too well to be a coincidence. The book is about all of us. Linda must be their mom. Alright, so we now know that everyone in this book is us. Maria's dad's not there. Yeah, Alyssa's dad. Alyssa's dad's a cop. Remember? Alyssa and Maria. Yeah, Alyssa and Maria are sisters. Therefore, they have the same dad, which means Alyssa's dad is Renier. Alyssa is Yuri. Maria's Natsuki. Natsuki is Abby. Monica's Claire. We're Daniel. And Linda must be the mother of everyone. Or Linda's the mother of Alyssa and Maria. Which means canonically, Natsuki and Yuri are siblings of Renier and Linda. Yet in this book, Maria and Alyssa are sisters. Which means technically, Natsuki and Yuri are sisters. In this canon, at least. Linda must be the mom. Wouldn't that also mean Maria and Linda would be my parents as well? I know Serena gets this important look. But I don't want her to think I divorced her. Let's not jump to conclusions. Alright, let's continue. We go back to the book. What does it mean to escape if the escape fails to chain the bonds that shackle us in the first place? What purpose could this empty will possibly hold for us? A handful of damaged goods. Exactly what Monica said. Who represents Markov? Markov is, I think, his own person. I think Markov's the cultist leader that wanted to experiment on Yuri, Natsuki, Monica, and Sayori. But then they all broke out of that facility. And now they're living a life as schoolgirls. With freedom, we saw purpose, and what we found was on realization. Realization of the sad pointlessness of such an endeavor. Realization that freeing our bodies has no meaning when our imprisonment reaches as deep as the core of our souls. Realization that we cannot pursue new purpose without absolving those from which we ran away. Realization that the farther we run, the more forcefully our wretched bonds yank us back to our point of origin, the deeper our shackles dig into our callous flesh. Is the script the facility? I don't know. There's a lot of weird unanswered questions here. There's a couple of unanswered questions. Or maybe it just stops at all the characters are part of this story. Maybe it just stops at that and there's no other connections that can be made. What do you mean by... Wait. Mind blown. Maybe the script is the facility. Because, like they said, they've been tested and experimented on, and they, after years of torment, they broke out of the facility. But, wait. Now I'm confused. I don't know. What do you mean by that? We're still slaves to the third eye. Even after a year of isolation, we couldn't stop feeling its pull. It dominated our lives on every thought. We decided we had to come back and try to do something. We saved some money and rented a car we barely knew how to drive. With luck, we'd die trying. With even more luck, we might succeed. And so we plan to capture one of the cultists and interrogate them to get to Markov. We can't defeat the entire cult, but if we could take him out, then hopefully the religion would collapse. And that's what was happening in the warehouse. You? The warehouse was an old facility of theirs. Back when it was so small they could do it inside the city. We found out from the guards we ambushed that Markov sent them to wait to capture a girl named Melissa. But Daniel, I lost control. Shot them before we could interrogate them. Hearing them talk about the experiments, my third eye itched and I felt their ears itched to spill blood. So you really are kind of dangerous. The script doesn't control them anymore, which I mean, in a way that could make sense, but it doesn't make sense when you look at the base game, because they're still being controlled by the script in the base game. So either everything represents something, or the connections stop at the characters being these characters in the book. So you really are kind of dangerous. Yeah. So am I think. I think I experienced that when I killed the cop in self-defense. You had the third eye, that's why the cult is after you. But how? What sign did Markov see in me? We just talked about the book I was reading. I don't know. Yes, there is, and he's willing to confess and torture innocence for a chance of learning something about the third eye. While Claire and Daniel went out looking for you, I stayed behind in case he struck him to the warehouse. We figured you were best up at getting to Markov. I thought I had to point a gun at you, or at least at first stop you from running. But I couldn't even point the gun without firing. I knew I had to let you go, and I barely managed to stop myself long enough for you to get away. Why do we have to forcefully bring back Linda? I don't know, because Renier wanted Linda back. For some reason. Renier wanted Linda back. Because Linda was trapped in limbo, I think. But that goes back to who the hell is Linda Why does she have admin powers? And why is she so important to this whole thing? After you left, I fired my whole clips into dead bodies to make sure I didn't shoot myself in my frenzy. If I had just kept it under control, that's all wouldn't have gone so botched. I believe your story. Thank you. We're going to need your help. So just one thing I don't get. How did you find me here? We picked up your phone after you ran away, and we ended up finding someone who knew how to get the hard drive out of it and extract it here, and we forced him to help us. So now we're guilty of threatening innocence. The response we all calling you dead made us sure you were with him, and we dug through information and messages to find out where he lived. Well, I understand. I'm sure I'd have done the same thing. Just help me save Maria. Huh? She was taken by the police so I helped me defend myself from arrest. Oh no! You don't think she was taken to... No! Can't be. There was no evidence she had third eye. Sorry, but we can't know what the cult's done with her. Our number one priority has to be getting to Markov. If we could take him out on top of the cult, we'd be able to save Maria. And you're our only possible lead for getting to him. Tell us you have some possible way we could track him down. I don't! I talked to him once and that's all. I have no idea though. The story will include Willis' mom as facility worker, but probably Willis' dad doesn't know. Linda doesn't know because Markov has memories of her when she's being seen. Maybe, but she had a lot of suppressed memories when she was stuck in limbo. So maybe Alyssa's mom is a facility worker. And she knows way more than anyone else. Which would make sense as to why the game would designate her admin. Because she's at the exact same level as everyone else. Or some other people. I don't know, we still don't have a definite answer, but we do have theories as to how the game decided that Linda was an admin when Renier was not an admin. And you could say that admin ties directly to being in the facility. But if that was true, then why don't Yuri and Natsuki and Renier have admin status? It makes no sense to say that admin status directly ties to being in the facility, because if that was true, then everyone would have admin status. Linda would be admin in the eyes of admin. I mean, we don't know for sure if the script represents anything or not. Like I said, we all have theories, but we don't have any proof of anything. We don't have any proof of anything. Like, we can talk about, like, what if. We don't have an actual answer as to why this is. I mean, your theory is just about as good as mine. Your theory being that the script is a facility and Linda's admin in the script size because she was top in the facility. Which is a really good theory. That's a really good theory. But, like I said, it's all just theory. And I think this mod will reveal to us what the actual answer is to all of this. But that's a good theory. That is a really good theory. I have no idea how to help you. But Maria doesn't deserve to be captured. Even though that theory sounds crazy, it makes sense somewhat. It makes a little bit of sense, which is the wild part. She is a life helping, and I can't just give up on rescuing her. Either Markov's a facade for Alyssa's mom, or Alyssa's mom is in there with Markov. But Markov's high up. I mean, yeah, true. Markov's the prophet. Alyssa's mom is somewhere below Markov. That, oh my God, that is causing my brain to do flips. This is crazy. This is actually insane. We're learning more about everything. Like, we are learning more about everything. This literally, the book kind of opened our eyes to everything. Like, we now know that everyone in this game came from this facility. Came from all of these issues regarding the facility and Alyssa and Markov and, you know, these kids killing people and, you know, everything. Markov's Dan Salvato. Oh, yep. Markov is Dan Salvato. I solved it. Yes. Sorry, but I don't think there's anything we can do. Even if we assume in the best case that they're still holding in the police station, and even if we could rescue from there. Imagine, just imagine, if that was true. I 100% do not think that Markov is Dan, because I don't think the modder could have thought of something like that. Yujiri is a really smart dude. Yujiri is super smart. But at the time, I don't think he had that in mind when making this. Even if we assume in best case that they're still holding you in the police station, and even if we could rescue from there, that would just convince the public that the terrorist killers they think we are an even bigger threat. What about a manifesto? If people release a story, we could expose the cult. People would never believe us. Telling people the government is running a human experimentation facility where they study supernatural forces? We convince no one, and it would just get more of the force after us. I know it seems like hope is already lost, but we only have one out to save anyone here. Draw Markov out and kill him. We must. There's no way. It can't be done. They give up for years after with no escape because the odds were against them, and I have the right to do the same. I just have to find a way for me and get as far away from this as possible. But Skip Font Marie has dragged them to this. You owe her a rescue. We owe her a rescue? But that year this wouldn't have happened to her. Narration notes that Alyssa is someone intentionally bending the facts here. Without us, he had been captured at the warehouse in an experiment zone, and that's why it wouldn't have happened to her. Would you rather have things that way? Alyssa has a way of fear of Daniel. Knowing that third eyes make them all unstable, she's afraid of him being this angry. I'm sorry. I just want to say my sister you saved me. Alyssa starts to cry. Hold on. If I were Markov, I'd want to do Maria right now. I don't know if the third eye is hereditary, but if he thinks there's any chances, he has to study her. And even if not, he might want to try to torture information out of her. I think our best bet is to go back. Maybe stay at the police station with everybody we're holding and hope we catch Markov entering or leaving. The odds are slim, but I don't think any other plan's better. Okay. Let's go then. Every second we wait is a risk. Wait! The police are looking for any of the four of us with pictures. They're probably authorized to shoot on sight. We should try to make ourselves a little less recognizable. They don't have to do much besides change, but Alyssa cuts her hair short, which she doesn't like doing. Chapter 6 starts. Alyssa thinks of mentioning her dad's involvement in contacting him, but decides not to for fear that he won't stand her side if she finds out who she's now working with. They drive back in front of the safe position to watch discreetly for hours until the sun is coming up. All of them are tired and starving. Alyssa, getting desperate, decides to tell the others about her dad's status. She decides to call him and ask if he's discovered anything, even though there's no obvious way to talk to him without revealing she's lied to him. She puts the phone on speaker so the escapees can hear. You again? You're gonna speak this time? It's me, Alyssa. Alyssa, where the hell are you? I'm sorry, it's a long story, but I told you to stay here. I had to. What do you mean? Wait, what does he mean? Must be at the house. Alyssa, what happened? What happened on your end? Did you find anything? Yeah, we did get Mary freed. But you tell me why you're not here where you are. Let's still believe that, unable to make up anything, she decides the best course of action is staying up. Thank goodness. Let's hope that Maria is saved. Not so fast. Not only does that help us track down Markov, it sounds like a trap. What?
My dad might not be on our side if you knew the whole story, but he doesn't. He wouldn't send his own daughter into a trap. Then how do you get Maria free? Dad tries to call back, but Alyssa declines the call. Seems like he couldn't have done that without the cult's cooperation. He was a lone agent, and even though he is a cop, he lives in a different city, so I don't think he could have gotten much use out of that fact here. But even if your dad does have good intentions, it's not safe or beneficial for us like you to go over there. What other option do we have? We have no leads on finding Markov. Wait, I should come over here. We can trust you, and she'll let I have information. Going on the get from Dad and Maria both at Dad's house, and Dad will probably tell her about this call soon. They decide to wait a few minutes. They hope to give Maria some time to officially Dad's presence. A few minutes later, he gets to call Maria, who is whispering. "Well, tell me there." "Yes? Are you alone?" "Yeah, it's safe now." "What's going on?" Well, saying escapees relay the information to Maria, who believes them. "So I need your side of the story. How'd you get free?" "One of the cops came to talk to me and explain that he thinks the killers have a double agent in the police and somehow, and that my arrest was their doing. He got me released. He let me call Dad and Mom, and the three of us are all at Dad's house now." "Wait, Mom's there? How was her and Dad getting along?"
Well.
But I think everything is okay for now. The mysterious police officer said he and the rest of the good ones would catch the killers and find Alyssa. He says they found out was also falsely accused and didn't kill the one at the dorm. And we didn't need to do anything else. Sounds like it was a cultist trying to use it to bait out Alyssa. Maybe Markov himself. I agree. They get worried to describe the officer and matches Markov's appearance. This is all her. Can you help us figure out where he might be? Sorry, but I can't answer that beyond that he might still be in the same city as you. That's not enough. I don't know anything else. Hold on though. If me being here was set up by the cult, I should get the hell out of here. I'm gonna try and get to a secret place and then call you back. Maria hangs up. A few minutes pass and they do get a call back from her. Alyssa, you still there? Yeah. Alright, perfect. Mom's voice comes on next. Wonderful! I read part of the last competition and now Maria to tell me the situation you're in. I understand we can't trust your dad, but I've got something your friends and your even would be interested in. This Markov guy you're after? I used to know Mr. Markov that matched that description. I know his address. God. Alyssa's mom gives him her address in the city. Thank you so much. This might just be what we need to put a stop to the cult. We'll head over there. Thank you. Alyssa's mom hangs up. So you're gonna take Markov out? With any luck, yeah. Suppose I should trail. We should have one of us watching discreetly, so if things go wrong, at least one of us will escape to tell. Good idea.
Chapter 7 starts.
The escapees raid the guns and approach the decorated house, with Alyssa trailing car back. Alyssa's instincts prove right. As they approach the house, she sees all three of them get shot suddenly. Alyssa doesn't see where the guns were hiding. She runs at the sight. Closer with the trap. Mom and Maria said all that with a gun to their heads. What are we thinking? That they're all probably taken too. Hold on, me saying Markov were killed? Well, we seem to be able to get brought back to life pretty easily before. Yeah, but only inside this game. I don't know. Defeated, even more tired and hungry than earlier, having nowhere to go, Alyssa ends up going back to the warehouse. She judges from how the guards didn't seem to pursue at all that they probably didn't spot her watching, so with luck they won't have any cause to come back here. She wanders through the labyrinth-like building and comes upon the room where the escapees deposited a small stash of provisions and slept. She takes a few breaths to stave off her hunger and then falls asleep in one of their makeshift beds. Alyssa wakes up later with no idea how long it's been. She's still alone. She turns on her phone and checks the time. It's the next night. She wants to call Maria or anyone else, but decides she can't because more likely the cult has them now. She looks through the escapee stuff to see if there's any clues at where they might have stayed so she could go there, but finds none. She decides that if there's any safe and hospitable place to go right now, it's her mom's house. She starts looking for an exit, but she's a bit lost in the warehouse. She comes upon a huge empty room, sealing the walls beyond the deep blackness. And then she falls into the bit of water described in a special poem about the warehouse. That one, where a person falls into a, someone falls into a, thing and can't get out and dies. Narration notes that her lungs are already getting tired. Alyssa panics, shouts for help, cries. There's no escape. It doesn't until Alyssa thinks she's been passing out that she hears footsteps in Markov's voice. Welcome to the family, subject Alyssa. We will ensure your survival. Alyssa tries to scream but can't even do that anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't want to read anymore, for fear that I'll remember this happening to me. Christ. I hope this book doesn't go into any more detail about the torturers. Yuri seems really upset. Yuri? I don't want the images to come back. Well, you don't have to read with us. No. Turning my eyes from the truth won't do any good. Let's keep reading. The perspective switches to Markov, watching Alyssa drown. He's narrating and explains that the test with other forms of physical torture haven't been producing results, much to his discouragement. So before giving up, he's given you a drowning experience one last try, since back to when you did it before you didn't have enough data to really dismiss it. He has a hypothesis about the difference between being held in the water and being lifted around at a strength that no one can no longer swim. He and the other cultists watch Alyssa fall for the last minute before she passes out. None of them are allowed to speak beyond Markov's greeting. The test involves the subject being mentally traumatized at the same time. I'm relieved to find this still hurts. I become desensitized to all the cruelty you've inflicted. But when I abduct a new subject, I'm so reminded of how things used to be. How I wish they could have stayed. How she must feel right now. Having heard what I do to my subjects. I'm gonna lump out real quickly. Mike will go offline. Okay, I'm back. Having heard what I did with subjects. Save file? Why? Wait, why save the file? There's no need to. As of right now, there's no need to. God. This really does hurt. I want to stop doing this to her. I'm hiding my face from the other cultists so I won't set a bad example. Of all the Let's Tell one, this is my least favorite. I'm a monster who feels nothing for my victims. I've already come to terms with that. I'll never be able to ask any of them to forgive me after this is over, even if I explain to them why I was right. It's an incredibly lonely life, running the only meaningful part of this world entirely by myself, with not a single person I can be honest with. And all of my cult followers? They're disgusting human beings. I abhor them for obeying me. They don't have any other justification than I do. They should kill me. Damn, I hate how I'm angry too. I bury my face in my hands, pretending to be deep in thought. I have to work with these monsters. I have to torture the innocent eye-bearers. Because I have to get out of this illusory world. The end. Looks like it's going in the stream. I'll look into it after stream, yeah. Because it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. I'll look at the settings after stream and see what's up. Because I have the default settings on it. The default settings should not be one use per stream. What the hell? Wait, what? But Lynn was right. Portrait Markov world is not a virtual world like this one. What if he's with the version of that world? That would seem to make sense of the name. If he saw his world the way Markov saw us at first. But it seems to already know he's not the only real person there. Yeah, so he knows who's torturing real people. And the bastard says other people don't have the justification he does? What the fuck is he on? Hold on a second. If he's the admin of that world, admins can move characters around, Then how did Bentley and Mark escape?
Why didn't he warp you back?
For that matter, why didn't he warp Yuri to escape instead of going through all the trouble to capture her the hard way? Doesn't make any sense. Maybe he doesn't know about warping. With no one to cheapen the ways of hesitancy, maybe he just never found out about that function?
I guess.
Seems unlikely, though. So, what's our plan? The book was a bombshell, but it didn't tell us how to get out of here. I guess we still need to get Lena and Monica back for advice. Or fix the main menu. If we could start a new game, that would probably help. But I don't even know how to fix the button. Wait. Wasn't Portrait Markov different act?
Ooh. Ooh hoo hoo.
Yes. What's the Act 2 version? I don't know how to get it. I just started with it in Act 2 instead of this one. Then they would probably know. I'd say this, but Act 2 happened once Zero was deleted. So maybe so you delete yourself temporarily, we'll be able to get the second version. Well... Rainier? Don't you fucking dare! Figures you'd get mad if you were just suggesting something. It would only be a few minutes. It wouldn't be the worst thing ever. But isn't there another way? Hold on. Portrait Markov was my book, and Act 2 was also marked by me having a more active third eye. So what if... Sari? If you were to do the same thing to me that Monica did, we could get the Act 2 version? I guess that makes sense, but I'd hate to do that to you. Are you sure? I think so.
Alright, let's go.
You can just reverse it once you have the book, right? I guess so. Okay. Alright, here we go. Negative influence Yuri 3. Script modified. Yuri? How do you feel? Different. It feels like everything looks different. Even though it all looks the same. I understand how I could have done everything I did and said in Act 2. It all seems understandable now. That's not good. I should be fine now. Now that I know it's an external influence. And with luck, it'll only have to be this way for a few minutes. Wait a minute. If admin powers can just arbitrarily adjust the strength of someone's third eye, isn't that... Yeah, I thought this place was an experiment set up by Markov's cult. But if he had the knowledge to do that, wouldn't that be what he wants already? Maybe it only works without a virtual world generated by another?
I don't know. Yo, Ziv, what's going on, dude? Thank you for the 104 bits. I really appreciate it. What is going on, dude? We are just about to read Act 2 version, or we are just about to read the Act 2 version of Portrait of Markov. Portrait Markov book disappears. Locate object Portrait Markov. Created. Yuri gets the book back out of her bag. The cover's the same, and it's different. We have version 2. I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good, dude. How are you?
Great. I'll turn off the influence now. Good. Negative influence Yuri. 0. Yuri looks around. Yuri? The influence felt good. I wish it didn't, but it felt good. Kind of like a small vestige of the feeling of cutting. And now I feel like I can't release the tension. Maybe it'll subside in a minute? Just try to keep your mind off it, okay? I don't know if that would be possible while reading this book. Let's just get it over with.
Alright. Here we go. This is the Act 2 version of Portrait of Markov now. Because if you recall from the base game, Act 1 Portrait of Markov is different than Act 2 Portrait of Markov. Yuri explains each one in a different way. The Act 1 variant seems a lot more happy and non-dark, while the second Act version is a lot more dark. So, this is the Act 2 version. Let's see what happens.
The first chapter shows Alyssa seemingly having a dream about escaping the warehouse and water trap by opening her third eye. She flies out and goes into a frenzy healing cultists, seemingly made invulnerable, and then wakes up in her cell. I feel terrible for you just reading this. Alyssa's sick and doesn't seem to have any tears left.
Markov enters her room.
Alyssa tries to scream, but is too weakened to really even do that. How did my first virtual reality test go? I'm trying to find a less costly way of testing the third eye that doesn't require subjects being allowed to actually stab someone to open it. People are a bit too scarce a resource for this expenditure. Alyssa calls him a monster and tries hopelessly to appeal to his conscience. He asks her a few doctor-like questions and then says he's going to prescribe some biometric tests. Before he leaves, he offhandedly confesses that Maria and her parents were also captured, and that they've all heard what happened to her. She begs him for a chance to speak to Maria and anyone else, but he doesn't even consider it. The second chapter introduces Linda Watson, a doctor, chatting with her boyfriend Rennie.
The second act version is different than the first act version. This is... Let's continue.
Wasn't she an accountant? This has gotta be before destroying Yuri's file. Looks like the boyfriend she mentioned was you after all. I bet Markov has some after the story.
Sounds like he can. Maybe the second act is focused on a different world detail. Maybe. Or maybe the second act version is a continuation of the first act version, but that would make no sense because they're calling Renier instead of Daniel. So there's something weird going on here. Maybe it's just focusing on a different bit, or maybe it's a warped continuation of the Act 1 version, and Daniel is now Renier and works in the facility. We go back to the book.
After analysis subsides, Renier's expression turns solemn. Linda, I'm going to stop keeping secrets from you. Eh? When I said I was a factory worker, I was lying. I'm a member of God's family at an establishment studying a dangerous supernatural force named Thai.
Yep, he works in that establishment. The Iron Man film wasn't followed with Iron Man 2, it was followed with Captain America. Yeah, that's true. I mean, but Marvel movies are always like that. It's like those films in between films. And even though they're not directly sequels of that film, they kind of continue the story in a kind of like half linear way. No, I couldn't have been one of them. Renier's a cult member. Renier's a cult member. Yeah, they're interacting together, but they're not the same story. But Renier's a cult member. I know! But they're missing me with the picture. Look, Monica's got what, 10 mirrors now, and no one stays mad at her for long? All of Monica's mirrors went under severe influence. I don't think you were possessing to join the cult in the entire time you were in it. I mean, there was no way he was influenced by anything outside, by any outside force when he joined the cult. I think Markov was just telling him lies. And that if he wanted Markov, he'd get what he desired, but Markov was lying. Either that, or Renier thought that Markov was his superior. But he can't judge before you even know what happened. I mean, he didn't know what he did.
Maybe just upon him they were lying to him. Exactly. Maybe the people he was working with were lying to him and telling them that nothing bad was happening, when in actuality, all of these experiments and inhumane things were happening. Maybe he just didn't know. It was under a false pretense that everything was fine. Renu was abusing Natsuki, though. That is true. That is true. Like, well, the thing is, though, Markov, I don't know. I don't know, man. This is all fucky. This is getting more and more fucky as time goes on. It has to be. Talk about a pickup line, though. We go back to the book. Lena almost falls out of a chair. She's speechless for a moment, so Rennie continues. I'm not supposed to tell anyone outside the family that it exists. Wait, family. 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 Oh my god, what? Okay, Hold on. Hold on. I need to... do something. On one of these files, there's a story about, it's like a doctor report. Hopefully, Yuri's file holds the thing here. No, this is not it. That's not it. Grab Monica's file. Anything in Monica's file here? Hold on, let me, Doki. Character, file, secrets. Easter eggs. Character, game file, secrets. No, that's not it. Okay, there's a file in the game. It's a fucking, doctor report, I think. No, Doki. Oh, what about the irregular heartbeat? A letter. Here we go. The secret letter from the game. Okay. Don't know why it took so far to find this, but here we go. Irregular heartbeat, heart palpitations, arrhythmia. I search and search. I scanning everything and find all the symptoms. What is this? Shorten the threads? Chest pain, dizziness? No, this is all wrong. The list of symptoms no one did this simple. I've seen it twice. Screams of pain, sickening pale skin. This can't be all. It's not possible. I don't know how much of this Rennie is behind, but I do know this. There is something horribly wrong with this family. And I accepted the invitation to be a part of it. I can hear Alyssa screaming through the walls now. Who the hell? What? See, this is what I was talking about. Family. This reference to family is in this letter. I don't know what file it's in, but it's... Okay. Back to... portrait. Back to Portrait of Markov. Or return to the portrait. Return to the game, more like. But I won't lie to you any longer. Linda is unable to find words. I have faith that God introduced me to you because it wants you to join us. I can't induct you without the Prophet's permission. But God will find a way, I'm sure. Renier! What are you talking about? He's never mentioned anything about God before. I have to go right now, but I'll talk to you about this more tomorrow. Don't tell anyone else I told you. Renier leaves. Linda can't get a hold of him for the rest of the day. She does get an email from her boss that evening saying she was being laid off, very little about what's going on. That night, she has a dream where God tells her that her time has come, and she opens her eye, which sees the wall from above. Who wants to read God's Markov using Admin Palace mess with people's minds? Weird. Claire, Daniel, and Abby didn't seem to know about this in book 1. It seems like it would have been worth mentioning if the cultists really do have visions that make them believe in their god. Claire said they were there for years? How did they have so little interaction with the cultists that they never even heard about this? Probably much of it was some solitary confinement. God is Del Salvador. Imagine. Just imagine. Oh no. It sounds so terrible. I don't want to read this either. Even if it's what their memories sometimes. Like Monica discussed. Suddenly that seems like a mercy. When Linda wakes up, she tries calling Renier again on her cell phone. Linda, I have wonderful news! Renier, are you going to know what happened yesterday? The dream was God's signal. Wait, you know about my dream? God rewarded me. God has allowed you to join us because I asked it to and took the appropriate action. I knew it. So, Renier knows that Linda... So now it's not just Linda's hiding something, it's Linda and Renier hiding something. And whatever it is directly ties into what Markov is doing. God didn't want you in the family. It was just waiting for me to act. How long ago was I supposed to do this? Renier, what is God? I don't understand it much, but it's proven its existence to us. You saw the vision, and so did I when I was chosen. Just a few minutes ago, I received word from Prophet that God had chosen a new child. I never told him that I told you anything. So this story is a metaphor for... I don't know. I don't know what the story is a metaphor for, but... I don't know. Because this version is vastly different than the Act 1 version. Are you saying that God has chosen me to study the third eye? Yes. If you're ready, I can take you to speak to the Prophet. You need to think about all this. You can have time. I don't... But why would God want to need a group of humans to study something for it? I don't understand it fully. I don't think even the Prophet does. But we carry out God's will. Okay, I'm gonna think about this. Take your time. I'll see you later. May God be with you. Linda hangs up. I'm curious to see how Prophet Markov sells himself as later. If I had this story, I'd say, so what? Just because some supernatural being is giving me visions doesn't mean I should worship it or do what the Prophet says. I suppose it's human nature to want to be subordinate to something powerful. It provides a feeling of assurance. removing some of the weight of making Muslim choices. Because you believe that no matter what, God will guide you along the right path, and it's easier to externalize anything that goes wrong.
So this part is sort of the portrait of Markov tells all, where it's sort of like shedding light on a lot of what's happening. And who these characters really are, although we still have no idea who the fuck Linda is, and why she's so important. Like I said, we have theories, but why does the game give her admin status? Hopefully we find the answer out. In the next chapter, Linda decides she's going to trust Rennie and speak to God's prophet. My instinct says it has something to create knock one problems, optimize knock one problems, maybe, possibly. I don't know. What I also want to know is what the fuck that PGP message is, because Linda's file holds the key. Which is weird, that her file holds the key and not the message. That's a little weird, don't you think? That there's 3 parts of it. There's the key, the message, and the passcode. Time jumps on a detail. We don't know if Dunk chapter before or after, right? I mean, that also is true. The chapters don't really say how much time passes between each chapter. It could be directly after, or it could be hours after. I don't know what's happening, but this is weird. She calls Rennie and he ends up taking her to the facility. Along the way, Linda asks him about how he found God. His story is basically his, except without one of the others talking to him about it. He has plenty of detail and doesn't hesitate to answer, so Linda is sure he's being honest. She also asks him about why God's family and the Third Eye is secret. He explains that the rationale is fear of political opposition on the grounds that what they do is dangerous. He says it is, but that they must discover the truth of it for the ultimate good of everyone, and that he trusts God and that it's the right path. This can't work for long. If Linda's gonna be helping them, they won't be able to stop her from doing what they do. I wouldn't underestimate what you can make someone do, ability with peer pressure, authority, and the promise that it's for the greater good. If another book represents the same story but from another perspective, we must consider this. That is true. That's because we don't know exactly what's happening. Okay, what did that say? They stop at a checking gate off on tour where a booth worker verifies Rennie's identity and then lets them through. They drive along the forested path and eventually stop at a camp with several large buildings burying the horse. This is larger than I expected. God has provided for all of our needs. They enter a hall where Rennie meets the leads who's no office labeled with Markov's name. Linda enters Markov's office and he dismisses Rennie. Linda Watson, is it? How do you know my name? God knows all things. I am a servant of God. It tells me everything I need to know. You recall your vision and firing. God has asked you to join its family, but the choice is yours. I believe God will arrange for your job to be returned to you if you refuse. So Markov isn't God. Or is Markov God and he's just saying that he isn't God and that they're two separate beings? Thinking emoji. God's family is Team Salvador? I believe God will issue. Okay, I already read that. So surreal. Kevin really did do that, didn't it? Now is the time for your questions. What's the third eye? She doesn't expect to realize this, but she asks anyway.
to a rare condition that involves medical complications, violent behavior, memory loss, and in some cases supernatural powers. I notice that Markov doesn't specify whether those things are associated symptoms or causes. At this facility, we study patients who show signs of it. I notice Markov still hasn't said anything about the patients being held against their will, even tortured. What are we gonna do? That does sound dangerous.
And Markov's leaving out details solely to try and get Linda on board.
The fear of our work is justified. But we must understand we are to cure it. I even believe that when we learn what drives this force, we will harness it for good. Linda clears her throat. If God's all-knowing, what do we have to say for it? Doesn't God already know it all?
I do not know.
Perhaps even God's ability to work through the world is limited. It never seems to act in overt ways, not even when it even speaks to us out of dreams. Perhaps being told the truth would defeat the point of discovering it. It's not our place to question the will of the being that gives us life. It would be disrespectful to assume that just because we are guided by God, we have no need to do anything.
Markov will start details, just how this OG DLC told us. I mean, that's true, but I don't think there's a connection to be made there. I don't think the connections go that deep.
It would be disrespectful to assume that just because we're guided by God, we have no need to do anything. How would you feel if your children decided they didn't need to study or learn any skills because you would take care of them?
I suppose that makes sense.
Linda says that insincerely. Do you have a decision? Linda's internally hesitant, but saying no doesn't feel like an option in this situation.
Markov the script? I don't know. There's a lot of things that Markov could be.
Saying no doesn't feel like an option in this situation. So she agrees. Markov takes Linda's hand and mutters something in a foreign language. You're now a child of God's family, Linda. Welcome. What did you say? Even I have not been allowed to know. The words were given to me by God years ago. I understand that I'm not required or meant to understand them. In the next chapter, Linda examines some subjects that have clearly had their memories wiped and been brainwashed. They even themselves say that they're insane and dangerous. Linda takes some notes on their physical symptoms and prescribes some treatment. It's made clear that Markov wants Linda on the team to prevent him from killing his subjects by accident. He claims the prison hall is a place for God that keeps the subject's third eye suppressed so they don't activate simultaneously, and that the magic is harmed by children of God being inside it. Hence why she and the other personnel can't visit the subjects without administrative approval. Later in the chapter, when Linda starts to pick up on the fact that the patients are being subjected to torturous experiments, she's told Rainier that most of the subjects were serial murderers before being taken for study. The scary part with that is that if it were true, it'd be a pretty good rationale. I mean, you're not wrong. It's not remotely acceptable to torture a defensive prisoner. I mean, it's not like it's torture just for the sake of it. Doesn't it make more sense to use people like that for science? If this were legitimate science, that is, which I'm not saying it is, than to just lock them up and leave them?
Scriptman is unable to read the book of Ben Linda fully. That is true, but I think that's a little bit much of a theory.
It does. I have to agree it would make sense if what I'm telling Linda was true.
I mean, I guess so.
I just hope I really believed it. I noticed it was the first time anyone called them subjects instead of patients around Linda. For good measure, Rainier tells her a story about that one that kidnapped, raped, and then murdered some women to make sure she doesn't start to feel any sympathy.
I know that's what Rainier is doing here.
Not only does he not give a way to verify this, but the way he talks about it makes it sound like all the subjects are guilty of that. He does also tell her that not everyone being held there is a murderer, and that the ones who aren't have been afflicted with the third eye in ways that make them delirious and dangerous even if they don't mean to be. He promises her that they don't do anything cruel to those ones.
That's a lie. So that was a fucking lie.
Then we find out why he says this, even though he could have convinced her they were all guilty. The last subject she examines that day is a 2-year-old named Libitina. A 2-year-old? Holy fuck. They can't. Sorry? I know they're evil, but how can they do this? It's worse than evil. They can't be forgiven.
I've never seen Sarah like this.
I feel terrible for her. She's not wrong, though. I mean... I thought that too. But this? I don't know if I believe that anymore. I'm ready to keep reading. Maybe you shouldn't. The others will tell you anything important. There's no need for you to want yourself. You're right. Thanks, Vince. Sayre wipes the tears and moves the distance away from the book. Libitina acts strangely mature, which is noted as normal in her subject notes. She also, like the others, doesn't seem to even see her captors as enemies. Linda does a medical examination and manages to come away without hearing anything about what the poor child's probably been through already. I figure Markov is probably wiping each subject's memories before Linda examines them and maybe restoring them after. Maybe he just wants Linda for medical duties and doesn't think he can corrupt her? In the next chapter, Linda speaks to a lot of the other cultists. They all come off as quite amicable, tell inspirational stories about how God changed their lives and how they're determined to carry out its will for the greater good. Markov seems to be trying to get her to feel camaraderie with them. And it seems to be working. The perspective changes to Alyssa. Alyssa meets Libitina under supervision, tries to mercy kill her, and she's stopped by the cultists. But during the chaos, Libitina apparently thinks this is one of the life-threatening elimination tests. She claws at one of the cultist's ankles, and her fingernails are apparently sharp enough to puncture. For Libitina, just drawing the tiniest amount of blood seems to open her third eye, enough to activate the distortion mentioned in her monthly report. She screams and everyone else becomes crippled with pain and weakness. The cultists are unable to stop her, or really do anything at all. I guess Yuri never displayed any powers like this because she's never drew anyone else's blood. Probably did happen with Monica, and that's why she eventually was able to break the rules and destroy the script. After a few seconds, Libitina passes out. Markov, who was present, claims he prayed to God to save them and it answered. That's a lie. But I think we all know what really happened. Yeah, so that's a fucking lie again. Alyssa comes away from the event with even worse symptoms from Libitina's distortion, including vomiting blood. I hear Yuri start to choke. Ah, good. Uh-oh. Take Yuri's hand and I'll leave that to help calm her down. Yuri, think about tea or something? Yuri coughs a bit. After a minute, she recovers. Yeah, the god is not real, yeah. I definitely can't read anymore. I can't handle it. And if just reading with the past week, it's so sick. What will it be like to face him again? Hell. I'm done reading this too. There's no reason I should. I guess it's just you and me, huh? Yeah. Crap. Well, let's go. How can we explain those visions and dreams? I don't know. That's... like, who's telling them these things? Because if God isn't real, if the God in this isn't real, then... who's telling them these things? Who told Linda to sort of join this and who told Renier to join this. Who's telling Markov these things? They're hearing things from God, but who is this God? And maybe the devil is real? I don't know, I don't know. That's getting into some spiritual stuff, though, and I don't really want to delve into the spiritual stuff, so yeah. This is the first time Linda meets Alyssa. But Markov makes sure to wipe Alyssa's memory up first. She doesn't even remember her name. Linda doesn't believe one of the third eye sickness she contracted made her forget everything. I mean, that is true. But again, I don't really want to get into a lot of the spiritual stuff, so. When Alyssa finally stops vomiting blood, she doesn't want to leave the medical room. Other cultists eventually drag her out and back to a cell. They remind Linda that Alyssa murdered someone. In the next chapter, we learn from Markov's introspection that no matter how many times the subject opens the third eye, it never seems to get any stronger. He knows the other stuff he's been putting the subject through doesn't directly open it, but his goal is to find ways to strengthen it passively. He starts to wonder if something close was the answer. And so he has to respond to subjects kill a few of the least promising ones, including Libitina killing Maria. And then all his limbs of the dead ones to be dismembered, and each one affixed to the ceiling of a promised cell. That's what Yuri was talking about in Act 2. They cut off limbs and affixed them to other prisoners' cells. Which is fucked. Oh my god. So disgusting. Making me nauseous. Couple days pass. Linda's gradually finding out that Rennie's depiction of subjects wasn't as all-encompassing as he made it sound. But she continually justified the claim to herself as, he didn't mean a supermajority, I just misunderstood. Well, in the case she knows they're completely innocent, she starts to convince herself that they're more dangerous than they appear. And that what they do to them isn't as cruel as it seems. There's a scene where one of the other cultists spitballs to her about what unlocking the secrets of the Third Eye could do, the advancement it could bring to society. They're remarkably effective at keeping her from finding out the truth outright. She's really let into one of the dark cells and never one of the ones that had to eliminate. I come to realize there's not as much overlapping going on here as I thought. A lot of the subjects really seem to have lost all semblance of sanity from the experiments. I wonder if some of them have internalized the lies about them become criminals as opposed to justification. Things go on, and at one point, while Linda's taking notes on Alyssa's condition, whose name has been redacted to all X's in all documents, Renier blurts out her name. Linda asks him, and he's forced to admit that he was talking about He says her name was made confidential some time ago for reasons only Markov knows. But he remembers from before the change was made. So, is Alyssa? I remember reading about this in the news. Our girl named Alyssa was wanted by the police. Renier makes an excuse to leave the room shortly after that, leaving Linda alone to think about the ramifications. So is this a government facility? When Renier talked about why they had to keep it secret, I got the impression it was rejected by the Senate or something, was funded by some private organization. I think I'm being lied to. Yet no shit, Linda. No shit. Linda, listen, honey. Listen, Linda. You're being lied to. All of this is a fucking lie. Everything isn't as good as you think it is, okay? There's some dark shit going on here. She stops herself from asking Markov about it, though, because she doesn't want to reveal that Renier told her. Later that day, before Linda can get a hold of him again, Renier is transferred out of the facility for some classified assignment. What impeccable timing! Maybe they know that Renier told Linda. Another day passes between chapters. The second time Alyssa has an episode of blood vomiting, she's brought to Linda again. Linda asks her what preceded the episode, and she says she heard screams in the cell next to her, and it started happening when she stopped hearing the screams. Linda talks to her a bit about her uncertainty in dealing with the alien condition. Alyssa tells her that she's seen a few of the subjects have contracted some symptoms, and she knows the names of a couple. During the conversation, Linda also accidentally mentions Alyssa's name. Alyssa says it sounds familiar. Linda ends up giving her an abridged version of how she knew it. When Linda tells Alyssa she has to leave, Alyssa begs not to be dragged back to her cell again. It's the first time Linda discusses one of the sort of alleged crimes with them. Alyssa, of course, doesn't have her memories. She cries, beginning to wonder if Linda's telling the truth. Linda has a moment of conflict, imagining how it would feel to be imprisoned and told you committed crimes you couldn't remember. Because Markov keeps wiping their memories. Markov doesn't want Linda to know exactly what's happening here. But Rennie wouldn't lie to me. Yes he would. Yes he would. If Markov's telling him all these things, Markov wants him to lie to you. Because Markov is one fucked up dude. The others wouldn't lie to me. Yes, they would. I know them. No, you don't. The people like me. Yeah, you think so? Are you sure? This family's a force for good. No. No. It's not practical for them to prove the subject's guilty to their own individually. I have to trust them. No, you don't. She is guilty. Nah. I don't want to go that far, Linda. I should think about her victim. What life did they have ahead of them when this girl came and murdered them? He was a cop. I think the italicized text is just her thinking. Linda talks to her about how the experiments are for the greater good. No, they're not. You owe it to be our subject. No, she doesn't. It's your way of paying for what you did. Please kill me. If I have to vomit like that again, please just kill me. Seems wrong. If your crime is murder, can it really be fair to say that death is too kind of a punishment? Finally, he's still feeling conflicted but afraid of getting into trouble. Linda drags Alyssa back to her cell. Damn. This kind of situation can make good people do horrible things. They've set it up so she doesn't want to believe that the cult is evil. So she gives herself whatever she has to avoid that conclusion. Maybe I was in the same situation as her. Or maybe you were being lied to and you just didn't know. Renier. God. Once Alyssa's gone, Linda requests to eat a breakfast on the other subjects she's mentioned. And a few hours later, Renier walks into her office with the papers on them. When she asks about his assignment, she says it was a pickup, a new subject God had told Markov about. Who the fuck is telling Markov these things? Who's saying to Markov, you have a new subject that you need to investigate. You have a new subject you need to take into this facility to test. I'm telling you this because it is your duty to test to see if this person has the third eye. What? Who's telling him that? She also asked him a question about how the facility is related to the government. He claims not to know anything about it himself. That's a lie. It's the first time Linda becomes really suspicious of him. Of course. He goes ahead and plays the relationship guilt card, asking her if she really thinks she would lie to her of all people. Oh my god. Just keep lying. Markov chooses him and yeah. This whole thing of God bullshit. Markov is like, yes, this person. I need you to take her in, or take this person in, so I can investigate. And then when he goes to Rennie, he says, "Oh, God told me that you are supposed to bring this person in. Yeah, God. Yeah, he told me. You don't want to disobey God now, do you?" When in reality, he's the one that's pulling the strings. Because Markov's a sick bastard. When he goes, Linda gives him a pill to give to Alyssa and asks him to ensure she has water. She tells him she's worried for survival after a second after blood vomiting. Rennie promises to do as she asks and then says he'll be with Alyssa shortly, then leaves. This is what happens, isn't it? The message Linda wrote. Wait, was I Mercy killing her? Like she wanted? In the meantime, Linda starts to look through the data on the other subject Alyssa said were reflected. A few minutes after Randy leaves the room, Linda starts hearing Alyssa scream. Oh no, not again. I don't care what she's done. That's so terrible for her now. She doesn't rush over fear of being accused of acting on emotional attachment to a subject. Randy will bring her over for interviews and see if she can be moved, right? She continues to scan the data on the other subjects with the symptoms. Irregular heartbeat, heart palpitations, arrhythmia, that was her! Yes! I'll search and search. I'll scan everything I can find on symptoms. What is this? Shortness of breath? Chest pain? Dizziness? This is all from that letter that we showed earlier. No, this is all wrong. Alyssa's symptoms are nowhere near that simple. I've seen it twice now. The screams of pain, sickeningly pale skin, vomiting blood. She's talking about Alyssa. There's no other explanation, except that Randy's information was a complete and utter lie. Yes. This can't be all coincidence. It's not possible. I don't know how much of this Randy's behind, but I do know this. There's something horribly wrong with this family. Yeah, exactly. And I accepted the invitation to become part of it. I can hear Alyssa's screams through the walls now. I listen helplessly. Randy said that he would be with her shortly. Is he in her room now? Why is she screaming even louder than before? The scene cuts to Randy a minute ago entering Alyssa's cell. Alyssa asks him again for a mercy kill. Subject, you know I can't do that. God wants to go alive. I'm sorry, but it's not my place to disobey God. I mean, to give you a pill that might help. Randy has an F on him. Alyssa attacks him, hoping to make him kill her in self-defense. As Randy tries to push her off, he ends up getting the arm cut by accident. He didn't know he had a third eye before this. He reels back, shocked to notice how it feels. But Alyssa keeps attacking him. Struggling through the steel eye, Randy impulsively stabs her, and the urge becomes much stronger. Alyssa screams and ended quickly. He manages to get a hold of himself for just a second to grant that one wish. And then the poem follows. But, so, it was a mercy kill. Sort of. An unintentional one. So we still don't know if we knew they were innocent. The experience with the third eye convinced Randy that the cult was doing was wrong. Third eyes are full of evil. Dr. Markov's wrong. God's evil. There's no God. It's all Markov's doing. Nothing will come of this that could justify what we do to innocent people here. No! Fuck no! Well, holy fuck. Rennie was a true cultist. Yet Rennie believed everything. Until he didn't. No ignorant excuse. A monster. Everyone else looked over at us. Rennie knew the subjects were innocent. It's true! It's true. So much for you being all self-righteous when Mark can confess to us. What the actual fuck? How many people did you torture? A lot. But just consider one thing. Am I really worse than Monica? Just like her, I've already had my excruciating death. And I'm on your side now. He's right. We forgave Monica. I suppose this is anything from then. Sounds like they made it all easy to fall into. By revealing the truth gradually and pressuring the recruits to justify more and more of it. Yeah. Thank you. I'll count you on your team still, but don't you forget. Don't you ever forget what you did. Renu nods vigorously. Alright. I guess let's continue the book. I don't know Venom. I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen any Marvel movie except for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 or 2. And Winter Soldier. Renu goes back to Linda's office to confess everything to her. Renu, what's going on? The records gave me a lie. I told you a lot more lies. I killed Alyssa. And it felt good.
That's why he has a third eye. That right there
Proves that he has a third eye. Renu tells her everything that's happened. And he explains that Markov had him give her false subject records because if she had examined those subjects, Markov would have had to wipe the memories like he did Alyssa. How is it possible to do what I've done? I've granted kids to hell.
Oh. I should just spend time and just watch all the Marvel movies in a row. I wonder how long that would take.
I wasn't wrong when I said this place was full of insane, dangerous people. I was just wrong about who they were.
Would it be best to watch them in the order that they were released, or in chronological order? Like, chronological order as in, like, so that the events flow perfectly with each other. Right here. I trusted you. I liked you. How could you do these things?
I did them because the doctor said. Because God said. Now all I can do is stop myself.
Chronological? Okay. Sweet. Best order, alright.
I'm dangerous with the Jedi I can't control.
So not in the order that they were released, but in not in the order that they were released, but in chronological order. Okay, I got it.
I want to be honest answer. Should I kill myself? You have to put a stop to this. Many I'm going to need your help. And that's how Linda and many started working as double agents to sabotage the cult.
Thor, First Avenger, Captain Marvel, and goes, hold on.
Chronological order. Marvel.
Marvel movies in order. How to watch MCU movies chronologically. Okay, wait. If you're wondering how to watch these, Marvel movies in order for when each film was released. In order for release, no. Marvel movies in chronological order of events. Okay, chronologically speaking, I'm rating the first Avenger is the earliest in the MCU timeline. So it goes First Avenger, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Dark World, Winter Soldier, Guardians, and then Guardians 2. So I'm just going through it here, Sakurai. So, according to this site, the chronological order of MCU movies starts with First Avenger. And then it goes First Avenger, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2,
Thor, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Volume 2 right after, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Civil War, Homecoming, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Thor Ragnarok, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Infinity War, Endgame, and then Far From Home.
It starts with Thor? Thor fought Frost Giants, the other news for the first Avenger. Okay, what's the, Oh! Okay, here it is. The events of Thor also take place in 2011, around the same time as the events of Iron Man 2, although there are flashbacks to events that go back centuries. So I think you mean the flashbacks in the movie that go back centuries. I need like an actual list of I need to ask around chronological order. So in chronological order, it goes technically it's Infinity War, Captain Marvel, and Endgame. Homecoming is mostly after Civil War. Yeah, I'm looking at the list of chronological order, and Homecoming is after Civil War. I like how we're going on a tangent on Marvel movies. New York Rockstars channel is for watching others on YouTube? Okay. Let's look this up. Marvel movies in chronological order. How to watch every Marvel movie in chronological order. Must MCU best watch order. Is there a list here? Release group chronological cosmic time. Okay, New Rock Stars. List. What about the Netflix series and the Disney Plus series? What about Soldier and WandaVision? Send me here. What I'll have you do is send me the video link in my DMs on Discord, and I will look at it after stream. Anyway, back to this. In the next chapter, Rennie reports to Markov how he was forced to kill Alyssa, and Markov exonerates him. Turns out the brain's alcoholism started as a way to come back to Third Eye. It helped him resist the urge to cut. TV says not saying what film series as Kevin Feige says. Okay.
The same name, Markov also cleared Libertina's subject notes. And club introducing bias during testing with her as a result of personal attachment would be punishable by death now. Rainier actually knew an even more disturbing secret. The censored last name of Libertina. It was Markov. Ooh. Juicy! Libertina is his daughter? He must have known. I wonder if she knew. Also, I've been scratching the hell out of my arm because of my itchy skin. This reading really is getting tiring. I think we're nearing the end of whatever the hell chapter 2 is, or the Act 2 version of the book is. And soon after, Linda wrote the monthly examination report on Libertina. I mean, technically this is part 2 of Return to the Push, like canonically. UJ released them all in 3 parts, but you can play all the parts from beginning to end fluently. In the test note, she tried to convince Markov to cut Libertina some slack, knowing there was a risk Markov would execute her for it. And Markov does. He calls him to his office the day after that. He commands it to take a seat. Leonard does, quivering with fear. Markov makes sure it's visible that he has a gun on him and is sitting across. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. Yo, internet sucks. Yeah, I will be right back. I need to go pee. Alright, I'm back. Turn on the music. Let's continue. Linda, is something making you uncomfortable? Is something making you uncomfortable? No. I'm just a bit cold. Why have you just disobeyed God? Leonard jumped on hearing those words. Markov chuckles. Who even needs lie detectors? Markov, what are you talking about? That's Doctor to you. Linda realized that she'd gotten too comfortable calling him by his name from her already talking about him. One might think from your actions lately that you were overcome by compassion and decided to undermine the integrity of my experiments. No, Doctor, I would never. Why do you even bother? Did I even need to do the damnation? I think not. I'm just a little more cautious about falsely convicting people than I probably need to be. Linda, half given up, starts blood testing but also doesn't admit yet. But don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you. You're not? I'm not that foolish. I only said that because it most effectively scares people into compliance. I could wipe my memory, but I don't think that would work as a long-term solution. Ah! He can do it. I don't doubt him, and I bet he did to Alyssa. You still be too conscientious when you just joined against me when you never really found out again. Tampering is always a bit risky anyway, so I try to only do it when I need to. I have a better idea. God, no. Here's my better idea. You help me test out virtual reality. The power holds a great deal of promise, but I want to test it on some people that don't have a third eye before it risk the most valid subjects in experiment technology. Linda looks at the door. Markov will pick up his gun and shoot her before she could escape. She can't reach him to try fighting before you could shoot. There's no out. You excited? You're insane! One might say I'm the only sane person there is because I'm the only one who can recognize this illusion. What? I promise to explain that to you someday, when this is all over. For the time being, I'm too worried about what might happen if I tell anyone else the full truth. Well, enough talk. Time for your first VR test. These conversations are more fun than I often realize. It's really nice to have a break every now and then, yet it's also a type of climax of excitement in some ways. Well, ban all rambling like that helps me keep myself sane in here, I guess. Let's go. The scene cuts to later that day. When Renier hears about Linda being discovered as a traitor, he maintains his deception and Markov calls her in to talk. The scene actually makes it really bad for Renier. He had to see the woman who basically saved his soul get captured and condemned to torture. And not a few minutes afterward, he has to outwardly denounce her as a traitor. He pushes back a little, wondering that Markov told him to induct Linda as ultimate vision. Doctor, you need to be careful about misinterpreting your visions. Our experiments were harmed because of your mistake. If you had sabotaged one of this hook would have been avoided if you hadn't ordered me to root her. Renier, you know that God plans everything. This could only have been God's plan. Yeah, well, God doesn't exist, so... what now? What is your God now? And has plans we cannot see. I agree. God must have planned for you to make this mistake. But I'll hear at God's will, Doctor. I promise. Damn. So you were the only one left? The only hope for us. Suddenly, I feel like I'm rooting for Rennie in this story. In the next chapter, after some successful trials, Markov decides virtual reality is stable. He creates a persistent virtual subworld like ours, and places Linda in it as the world admin, but with fake memories. That's why she's admin. Because Markov made it that way. Markov made this subworld and deemed Linda the admin of it. That's why this game deemed her as admin. That makes sense. That 100% makes sense. He also plays Latina with fake memories and writes the script of that world to tend toward Latina finding Linda and killing her. As it happened in the story. And now we know why Linda doesn't have any friends or other relationships. She was driven to start looking into suicide because of that vague feeling that the world was fake, even though she didn't understand it like Monica had. And then when she met Latina, who didn't have a name prepared and pulled out Maria just because it was someone she had met in prison, Linda felt something on her just like Monica did when I first showed up at the club. After Latina left, Linda's epiphany came and she stopped contemplating suicide. That's why I was trying to find Maria again, the only other person in this one. But she couldn't because there was no one called that. And then Libertina came back and killed her before she could get a word. This doesn't add up. Libertina was supposedly 3 when this happened. The girl in that story was actually older than that. A body switch wouldn't explain it. She thought about things 3-year-olds don't know about. Yeah. Also knowing about killing Linda didn't seem to give Libertina any extreme third eye symptoms. According to the report, she had one of the most sensitive third eyes ever. The rest of the chapter was dedicated to that. Markov's parents get seeing the results of the experiment ruin Libertina's third eye somehow. He rushes to try to ruin Linda, but he has some technical issues. Libertina comes out in the 19-year-old body she was given for the experiment. Huh. If that can happen, then maybe she was eventually older than that before and got physically damaged back to a kid somehow. Would explain it. If I were him, she's probably lost dangerous as a little kid. But that would have been Markov came up with his virtual reality trick. So there must have been some other way it could happen. He is unable to move Linda's consciousness at all. He figures she's dead. He tests Libertina outside of it and finds that it didn't affect her third eye. It just didn't work inside the virtual world. Markov does find a bug in his code that he thinks caused it, and after he fixes it, there are no more problems like that. So he starts doing as much as he can in virtual reality. Rennie continues to do everything he can to hamper Markov's progress. He misplaces documents, carries by cultists, and gets 2 of Markov's most loyal flunkies killed by test subjects, with that implicating himself. The night after, Rennie hears Linda's voice in her dream. She tells him what happened inside her VR. When Libertina killed me, I was always strong to figure out the ending thing. I managed to get myself sort of stuck in the world as I died so Markov couldn't remove me properly. I waited until he figured I was dead and then escaped into... I don't really know where. I just don't understand what's going on. But it's like the real world's not the virtual world, and I can see it's fabrical and I'm the admin. So you're God now? I don't know. I think Markov has these same abilities, like he knows more about them. I can't do much over this world though. I can see it, but I can't figure out how to change anything. All I can figure out is how to do it aside to see things that suck the human dream. Rennie does a lot more sabotage with Linda's supernatural eyes. Linda finds out about character dot reset, a method Markov used on Libertina in dire situations to prevent her from dying. One night in Rennie's dream, Linda reveals she's letting Markov's next movement from spying on him. He plans to restore the character files of Claire, Abby, Alyssa, Maria, and Daniel inside one of his virtual worlds and ship it to the outside world under the guise of a dating sim. Ah, there we go. There we go. He can do that? Why wouldn't he just send him something like this and ask for help? What the hell does he gotta do all this to get out of his world? Too risky, maybe? I guess if he put himself in it like this and Spence didn't believe his story and turned him off, he'd be screwed. I guess I wouldn't take that risk either. I feel like I'd have gotten impatient after. How long has he been at this? It must have been at least 7 months. I wonder if his own third eye is affecting him. Maybe he enjoys these experiments more than he cares to admit. Linda says he wants to study the effects of the game being turned on and off from a physical endpoint, which he can't simulate in the same way from inside. Listen, we need to get in there. We can stop all this from inside. We need to get outside help. If Markov's going to use the spell to touch the outside world, that's our boat. We're going to sneak ourselves in, with our memories intact, and get an outsider's help. I'm on it. Tell me what I need to do. Rennie and Linda put together a plan for Rennie to sneak in, connecting to the virtual world to spiritual launches, and Linda, not having a body anymore, hoped she'll be able to follow him in just from being in his mind. So that's how Linda was able to get in here. We were able to sneak Linda in. Well, here we are. It's not to finally meet all of you. Not as watcher. It's nice to finally meet you. Not as you prisoner. It's nice to meet you two in person, Bat and Sayori. For the first time now in your history. It's nice to meet you two, Natsuki, and Bat and Yuri again. And in happier circumstances than I thought we ever were. Seems like it's a ritual that we all have to go through this now. Yeah, nice to be back with you, Sayori. Good thing that ambush wasn't the end of us. I smiled despite the situation we're in. Although actually, maybe we'll end up wishing it had been after all this. You can't go thinking that way, Sayori. You gotta make the most of your happy situation. Okay. I'll try. So, Yuri, I guess we're sisters? I think so. Markov changed all our names, probably to reduce the odds of us remembering. And Manu and Linda didn't get name changes because they snuck in. So, our plan? Still doesn't tell us how to fix this. Well, first things first, I gotta send the music off. Music? What are you talking about? Maybe this one? I don't hear anything. Oh, I forgot you guys couldn't hear it. It's the game's music. Isn't it a bit strange? To be picking music to listen to while in an actual life and death situation? I mean, if we're in a life and death situation, we might as well not make ourselves more miserable by listening to that ominous drawl for an hour. Fair enough. So, what we have to do is still revive Linda. Let me try that reset method. Here we go with the hacking again. Brace yourself. Don't worry, I'll be careful. Linda reset 0. Oh, Linda's here! Did you just fake something? No, look, the return code is 0. That means it worked. Sayori's right, Linda's followed back. Let me try to bring her in. Warp Linda space room. A store character. What the fuck? Character dead, but she's alive? If I try to warp her, it's just she's dead. If I try to restore her, it's just she's alive. At least 7 years than before. Maybe we tried to delete restore? I'll try it. Let's remove Linda, remove Linda. Restore character, restored. Warp. Character dead. Character already alive. Just the same errors. Any other ideas? The only one with access to the internals of the game. Well, I could try to restore some more of the world. Maybe the way it comes back will give me a clue. Let's go for it. I'd love to get out of this place. Okay. Restore Area Club Day. Uh-oh. Oh no. Crap, stop it! Restore Area Club... Oh. Oh. What the hell are you doing? Say, did you call a function, get an error, and then do the exact same thing again? But it got a different result. Yeah, I definitely ran a glitch text. Well, let's go ahead and try it a third time. You see it? See? So same with the second time. That's proof it did something the first time. That doesn't prove anything. If it's glitch text and on error message, then the amount of it is probably meaningless. Oh. I guess you're right. What if I try more times? Even if just a glitch text was small the first time I know it's a big one after, then that's evidence that there's a pattern. I suppose so. But I still prefer a solution that didn't involve doing things that are giving us errors and guessing when it might be safe to assume it worked. I'd say go for it. Even if she's throwing dots at the wall, there's not that many ways to make the situation worse. Okay. Okay. E. Who? Okay, that's 6 tests now. Pretty sure that's what we got the first time. Well, I suppose it's enough tests for me. But what do we do with it? How does a strong mother world help us? Well, we should have water on the club now to test if it really works. It's kind of a dangerous role, though. Are you serious? That's your plan? Say those texts mean nothing. It's glitch text, they don't mean anything. That's your plan? Warp one of us into an area that's probably valid or something and hope it works? Still with no idea what we're gonna do if it does? Well, yeah. I don't see any options. In this kind of play that's never had more than temporary consequences before. Can't you do it yourself? Isn't it kind of dangerous? No! I feel bad about it too, but it can't be me. I'm the only person without my pals right now. If I mess myself up, we might be stuck. I volunteer. I just want to get out of this place. It brings back too many bad memories. Okay. Be safe, Bat. Work that club day. Uh-oh. Sorry? Crap. Bat, are you okay? Since are you there? Can you... Oh, of course you can't answer me. Bat, sorry, help! You okay? Sorry about this. Just hang in there. She's not answering either. No. Uh-oh. Fence, turn the game off! Okay. It won't do it, so turn the game back on. Go back into the capture. Oh boy! Yeah, ow. What's happening? It hurts. Who? Help! Manny, where are you? Linda? I failed. You're our only hope. Where are you? I failed. Can you hear me? Linda! I'm screaming with my lungs, but I'm not sure if any sound's coming out. Where am I? Why is the noise like this? So you're powerless to fix this? Because I'm in over my head. Static. The kids. Our mission. Claire, where is she? Linda, it's Daniel. Can you hear me? Where's Daniel? I have to find him. She's seeing me at least somewhere. What the hell's going on? Static makes me feel like her head's exploding. Help us. Linda, I'm Daniel. Did you save the game? I don't need to save the game. The game's continuing just fine. Can you hear me? Where's Daniel? I don't know what's up with her, but is there something I can say to stop her out of it? Linda, there's something terribly wrong with this family, and you accept the invitation to become part of it. I know. I wanted to fix it. How do we... I bet what she just said was important, but I didn't catch it. Help me, Daniel. Sorry, it hurts. Can you fix this? God. Linda, we have to get out of this illusory world. No, can't. We have our mission. Don't give up. Don't make me wait. I can't think when everything's like this. The static hurts so much. Linda, help me. Help me. Help them. Someone. Can anyone hear me? I tried to send her the truth, but I don't even know if it worked. Linda, we're all here. Claire, me, Daniel, Abby, Alyssa, Maria, and Lydia. Stop whatever you're doing. I have an idle theory that Linda and Lydia, when the game came back on, tried to fix things and to stop them from fixing them. Okay. Really? Oh! Everything's quiet. That's... Oh! We're back! That... Ow! What the hell? Ow. Please never do that to me again. Linda lays down. Thank God. What just happened? I don't know. Everything got messed up. But we got Linda back. So I guess my plan worked. Are you okay, Bet? Yeah. But what was happening to me? It was like an endless cock... Was that what it was like for you and Monica when the game was off? We couldn't think during Oz, but it might have been the same feeling. Can't imagine being stuck like that for more than a few minutes. Monica said it was hell. But I guess you never understand until you go through it yourself. Sorry about that, Bat. I think it was my fault. So what happened to you? It seemed like you got back your old memories and forgot everything since we met you. But now you remember it all? I was once like on a state like I was before you brought me in the first time. I hate being like that. It hurts so much. I thought making it to this world the first time was the end of me having to go through that. I guess since the Game Boy glitch, memory segmentation wasn't working properly. But that's right. Monica left my memories intact, right? So I can just unlock them now that the descript is gone. Awesome! Wait, the music interacts with spooky drawl. Let's give this moment a proper time for theme. This is nicer. Okay, here we go. The old memories unlocked. Yay! There we go. 32 reactions so far. Oh my. Linda's such a revolution to a mysterious smile. Linda? After all that, I think we got him. What do you remember? Everything. Punched Markov, both versions, what's the product of some assembled memories I've read from different people while I was ghosts in Markov's world. I actually did this because I anticipated something going wrong with me when I used hijacking. I wanted to give us a way to remember. Reading the memories took a lot of work to load the proper time period and decode them, so I had to be selective. I picked most of your list of memories from the time leading up to her capture, since I had a hunch she'd be the admin. If I'd known Claire was going to be the admin, I'd have dug up more first. I tried to edit them into something that would be believable as a novel, so the game would accept it as a replacement for whatever book Yuri was to have. When Rennie and I snuck aboard, it went badly as I feared. Rennie lost his memories and got used by the script as Natsuki's dad instead of a placeholder NPC. And I retained my memories, but I didn't manage to manifest as a character. I only got halfway in, so to speak. After the first few hours, Markov would have noticed what had happened and pulled us out. But he didn't anticipate Monica breaking the entire game after Seiya became president. He must have not been able to get us back with the game world in that state. He probably figured out this world another time since then and spent managed to reopen it. So once again, what was our plan? I've gotten this for that too. The DLC software isn't specifically tied to this world. It's a virtual reality viewpoint, and I think I know what we have to do to point at Markov's world and get ourselves back there. We just need Markov's PGP key to pass the authentication portal. And that's what's in my character file. I swept the key off this computer. Awesome! You planned for everything. Thanks. So how are we using it? What we have to do is a little difficult. We need to do two things. We need to use Markov's key to issue an authoritative command to extract ourselves from this world. And we need to change up what the player viewport is pointed at. And we need to do them at the same time. Now, if either one goes wrong, I'm not sure what kind of fix we'll be in. I'm going to export the file I need to edit. Hold it. How is that plan gonna work? Don't we come out right into the Markov layer? With no way to defend ourselves? Well, yes, but Splinter will be following from the viewport. With luck, you can just delete Markov. Bad being or trick him a character file. Maybe. But at best, that only works if we can get Bat face to face with Markov. That sounds hard on its own. And didn't Monica show us that being deleted doesn't stop a person with admin powers? Well, yes. So what are we gonna do? He'll keep deleting us and Splinter will just keep restoring us and deleting until he gives up and begs for mercy. Well, why not? We'd win, right? Markov would have no power over Spence. I mean, I guess I don't see any options. But this is still assuming that Markov killing Bat wouldn't cut off Zen's connection. And that we can get Bat face to face with him before those flunkies kill us. And that character files will work the same way in that world. And that Markov doesn't have any of the tricks to stop him from being deleted. It only seems like an alright plan. What about the nightmares? Since we'll be able to also torture Markov to switch from returning on off. And that won't require getting back to him. We've got that too. I don't know if the nightmares will still happen in that world, but Spence can try if we can't delete him. We also have a third eyes. 4 of us have them. And if we can trigger their powers like Clay and Daniel and Abby did to see it the first time, then they could have a hard time controlling us. Do you remember what happened the last time someone tried to use that after good? What, it worked? Well, technically, I guess that did do what we couldn't have done any other way. Remember how much it hurt, but they could help. Well, you're right. The third eyes could save us here. So glad I don't have one now. Also, Sons ought to be able to restore our fathers if we were killed. And as long as he can restore us, death isn't anything to any of us. I'm in favor of this plan. Well, Christ. So am I guess. There are 3 different ones we could win. And it doesn't look like there's anything else we can do. Wait! What about Monica? We still haven't got her back. We can't leave her behind. I forgot about that. Even I wouldn't dream of leaving Monica behind, even after all I've suffered out of her hands. Linda sighs. I think Monica might have already escaped during the third eye frenzy. That might have been why the was character missing. We don't exactly have any other options, though. There's no way to prove that she isn't still in here. So we'll have to hope. Hope? That's not good enough. We have to know she's not in here. But if we get out, we'll be able to check for sure. Leaving this world won't destroy it. You don't think? I'm going to be able to just reinstall stuff if we needed to. You don't think your plan will destroy this world on the way out? Linda, you really tried to lie to us just now, didn't you? You knew you wouldn't change what you were saying. I had to convince her. This is too important. Even if we have to leave Monica behind, we have to do this. Think about Markov as a subject. Every minute we waste. Guys? I just realized something else. If Monica escaped, then she probably came out in the facility too. If I were Markov, I'd sure as hell come check on my old experiment if surgery came out of it. We're sitting ducks in here! Oh crap, I didn't even think about that. I just thought it was urgent because of the gravity of the situation. How many minutes do you think we have left, Sayori? Every second we wait is a chance that... But wait! That's evidence that Monica didn't escape. If she had, Markov would have caught up to us by now. That was like an hour ago at least. It wouldn't have taken him that long to investigate. And if Monica didn't escape, then we still have time. Maybe Monica came out like I did the first time because she broke out the wrong way. That would explain everything. One way or another, every minute we wait is a minute Markov's our subjects suffer. If we're doomed without her, we're doomed with her. Okay, you're right. Knowing we failed because I wouldn't leave Monica behind would be worse than knowing I left her behind. Alright. I guess we're doing this. Thank you all. Just in case we keep these when we leave this world. Yuri goes to school back and gets 2 knives she had with her. One of us with the third eye should be holding each of these. You give the second to Rainier. Good idea. Import admin. Challenge admin filtration file. Thing should be based on challenge Markov key. Admin complete action signature. Virtual reality viewpoint. Destination. Here we go. Sense. I need to wait until we leave. And then turn off the game and change the text on the file to just slash, including quotes, and reread the game. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. Here we go. Extract characters and read each time. I complete action signature for characters enter your Natsuki or any of that. Extract character. So you're extracted. Natsuki extracted. Menu extracted. Fatal error. Play character missing. 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 Alright. So now they're out. So now we go to here. And we just delete everything. So it's just a slash. And now we load the game up and see if it works. There we go. Oh, hell. We're back to hell. I shudder. I remember being Daniel. Even the walls in this place look haunted. They look like memories of agony. Torture. Cruelty. I'm shaking uncontrollably. I didn't keep my powers. I didn't keep mine either. I didn't really expect them to, but now that they say it. You're telling me we can't even contact Spence because neither of us can give him a menu? Yes. For pity's sake, I thought we'd at least be able to communicate with him. Oh, hell. If our plan to get him to delete Markov doesn't work, we'll be condemned to a fate far worse than death. Hold on. Our plan's still alive, we just need to find Markov. Linda, ready? What if you know where you'd be? How can we get to him without running into anyone else? Yes. If nothing changed, I know where his office is. Okay, there's hope. As soon as Markov's character pops up, I'm looking in it to see what kind of shit is in his file. If Markov recaptures us, even suicide's no escape. He can bring us back. Gary, please, don't force me to imagine it. Let's get this over with. Alright, so the destination file is done. I don't need Monica's file now. Before we make any more noise. After listening for a few seconds and not hearing any footsteps, we head out into the hallway. I feel like I'm in a cathedral of evil. I guess I literally am. We see a closed room to the side. These subjects must be a door up behind us. I jerk my head around to see a guard coming out of room 114. And she has a gun. Crap, not already? Ronnie acts quickly, running towards her with his knife in case he can reach her before she shoots him. But he's too far away. But I see a look of panic on the guard's face when she sees him, even though she has plenty of time, like she's cornered between a rock and a hard place. She doesn't stop to shoot at him anyway, but curses to run away from that still open door. This river comes running after her. It's Libertina. Libertina's character file was dropped. What is in this file? What is in here? It's a JFIF. So is it a PNG? JFIF means PNG. So. Ooh. A portal. A portal. Yo, Bun, what's going on? Yes, it's this mod. We are chugging along through it. So, Libertina's picture is a portal. Correct that back to CHR. No, OneDrive, don't you fucking dare. What's going on, Bun? How are you doing? Back to the game. Is that her? The Libertina managed to grab a guard by the wrist, stopping her flight and puncture it with a staple. And as soon as she does, she seems to be an unstoppable force, ripping the guard's flesh apart. With the staple. I haven't done this in too long. Shit, this record's gonna attract the entire cult. Run! We have to find Markov before others show up. I try to leave Libertina and follow Linda in the hallway, but suddenly I get disoriented. I see a blur of colors and I can't make out the sounds around me, and I'm not sure if I've fallen down. I get inexplicable pain. Took me almost an entire day to finish it. Hell? Yeah, this mod is long. We still got quite a bit to go, I think, because we still got to tackle part 3. I get an inexplicable pain like I did when the game was glitching. I think I hear Libertina screaming. Fuck. You doing the distortion thing again? Well, I'll be able to give Markov a character file and log this. I don't think I'd know if he showed up. A few seconds later, everything turns normal again, and the excruciating pain stops. I find myself on the ground. Once Markov gets his file, I'm gonna look in it to see what kind of shit is in it. No, Libertina's passed out on the floor. Ooh, here we go. Markov is here. The fuck is your file, Markov? Let's open it. What? It's not base 64. Maybe it is base 64. Maybe it is base 64. This was in Yuri's file. Okay, I think this is it. V2HDD. Yep.
Okay, so it is.
Okay. So it is base 64. What is a man without knowing the rush aroma of the future, the hot, complex balance of the present, and the bittersweet aftertaste of the past? He would be nothing, wouldn't he? What did I do to earn this position? I want to think it was an arbitrary. Do the gods hate me? Probably. But what for? One day I will end this imbalance. I will free myself and everyone else from that aftertaste. The rich aroma of the future awaits us. That aftertaste is the only thing that has kept me alive. What would I have done without you? But it cannot last forever. It grows more bitter every day, and it has been thousands of days. Montreal, if I'm seeing this. One of these days, I will figure out how to see through the walls of the past with the third eye, the only telescope that can see the aroma on the horizon. Libertina will free us all someday. I know she's the one. I just have to figure out how to help her reach her full potential. You can encode a file in base 64 format? What the fuck? You can encode a file in base 64 format. Oh yeah, but yeah, that is Markov's file. My, what's transpired here? That's it, fence deleter! What? Crap. Delete? Oh no, it's fine. You don't have authorization. I deleted him. There was one thing you forgot to do. See again? I deleted him. He's not in the thing. But he's still there. D. What the fuck? His character's gone. The only thing that remains. Wait. Monica's here. Monica's here. Libertina and Monica are the only two that are here. Did you just delete everyone with one command? Oh. It missed you because now that you've entered the viewport, you don't have a character file. This is Monica? No, I don't think it's Monica. No matter. Because Monica didn't appear when Markov appeared. Yeah, it's the same BS as before. 134 kilobytes, it's the same... It's the same BS as before. Changing it produces an image of a weird warped picture. Or, no, it does this, which leads you to, I think, Project Libertina's site. So it's just normal. That's the normal, Easter egg. He didn't change that one, that's from the base game. I don't know. Half a dozen other cultists are coming in at the other end of the hallway. I'm helpless here. But there's one person who might not be. I turn and run towards where Libertina fell. Daniel, what do you think you... I know Markov stopped it before, but maybe that was because he was too far away to be fully affected. It's the only hope I have. I have to trick him about my plan. If I can't stop you, I'll deprive you of your most valuable subject. You know I can just reset her, right? Not if I sever her trioptic gland. I hope to make him fear for a second that I know something about the third eye he doesn't. It works. Markov starts running towards us, unable to delete me, and unwilling to risk deleting Libertina. I position myself between Markov and Libertina so he can't see exactly what I'm doing. I pick up the stable Libertina used, put it between my fingers, and use my ring to stab my own with it. This counts. It feels good, but it doesn't do anything. It must have counted as me cutting myself. Okay, second resort. I give Libertina's a cup with the staple. Please! It works. Her eyes light up again and I give her the staple. Come on! Libertina should be back in the game immediately. She stabs me out with the staple and her third eye opens again. This time, Markov is too close for his own good. He realizes how I tricked him, but it's too late. Before he can enter the command to turn off again, Libertina unleashes the distortion on me and him. I guess that's the end of my part in this operation. Will Libertina kill him? I can only hope. No. Syntax error. No. Libertina's distortion is excruciating, but I think it's working. He doesn't think it'll knock her out. I feel like I'm dying. Hello? I found myself looking into a messed up void like when Monica and Sarah broke stuff. Ow. What happened to the world? I don't see Markov around or hear any cultists coming. I'll look behind me. Hallway's still on the other side. Libertina's on the ground next to me. Mariah looks like she seemed to have calmed down. But she looks like she's about to vomit. Huh. Somehow the cold Libertina gave me is gone. I wonder if she did leave both me and Markov, but due to my social nature as a viewpoint character, I got unwrapped with stoic, like I did after Markov was still theory. Libertina suddenly coughs up a bit of blood. No! I didn't... She coughs up some more. No! We need help! Sims, can you do anything else? Please try to restore everything else. Feels so obligatory to go do this up to me. What am I supposed to do? Hello? Oh, did I fuck up? Okay, I think I fucked up. I have to get back to, that thing. Okay. So, I think what I need to do, is... So, do I need to create everyone? Do I need to create everyone? Sayori... Yuri... Natsuki, Linda, Renninger. Alright, there we go. All of them have come back. There we go. What happened? Where'd Markov go? Why does he have the hallway gone? I have no idea. Libertina used to destroy on me and Markov, and that's all I know. Did she cause a glitch without having tells? I hear more sounds of blood vomiting. Libertina screams so loud it hurts my ears. Yuri rests over the Libertina and crouches beside her. What can I do? Tell me I can help. Libertina screams more. We have to help her. I'm sorry, but I've no idea what to do. It's like a new incurable disease. But if it goes the same way it did for you, we'll pass after a few minutes. At least temporarily. Another scream of more blood. I know how much this hurts. Spence, can you talk to us now? I hope some changed when the world got messed up. I don't think so. Fingers. Libertina finally stopped vomiting blood, but she must already be in mortal condition. So is Markov dead? Did Libertina kill him? There's no way to know. Seems too good to be true, though. We should try to get out of this place. We've done what we can, and Libertina needs help. Wait! Linda, you said that we got out. We could check from the outside if Monica was still trapped in the DLC. How do we do that? We can't. But did you lie about that too? Of course I lied. How would I be able to scan a virtual world with my long admin powers? So you're clenched to fist. You betrayed me. You betrayed us all. Look, it's not like she's dead, and she might have come out differently than we did. Or if she's still in there, we might find a way to get her out later. We'll probably see her again. Probably? How can I trust anything you say now? Look, let's focus on getting one out of here alive. You have to get to civilization. We know the cultists go back and forth sometimes, so they must have a garage or something. Wait, what about the other subjects? Somehow I haven't heard anything from the other rooms, so I didn't think about them. We have to sort them out. I can get a key from the dead guard's body and use it to open one of the other doors. The cell's empty. I sought to try the others and letting tadpole the hallway. All the other cells here are empty. I wonder if they weren't using them before, or if whatever Libertina did mess up this world in other ways. They might not be using the cells in the Libertinas to keep their most volatile subjects isolated. I guess it's time for us to go. Randy picks up Libertina, Natsuki picks up the guard's gun, and we head out the door at the back end of the hallway. Natsuki was right. The part of the camp that didn't get turned into space is almost none. But by some miracle, the garage is on the remaining sliver, halfway on the water. We crammed the 7 of us into a car, with Lander driving and head back towards civilization. This is too good to be true. No way we just took out a cult like that. Lander drives until we arrive in our town. Where are we going? We have no shelter, no connection to no money. And the routine needs medical attention. We'll take you to the hospital I used to work at. The owner was kind. With luck, he'll let the sword slide without pay. Lander takes us there. Libertina is still unconscious. We follow Lynn to the counter, but the clerk recognizes her. Linda? Yeah, it's been a long time. We just reviewed 2 years ago. It's a long story. Can I talk to Albert? We have an urgent case and no money. Look, I know this is a shock, but please get me Albert. I'll catch up with you later. Okay. The clerk comes back, and a few seconds later, Albert comes out. Hey, the boy! The boy is here. Let's open his file. Oh, I just realized that I was on display the entire time. A simple case of potentially more base 64. Yep, more base 64. What the hell does his say? Okay. Is it double encoded in base 64? What do you mean? Okay, I think this is not working. It's not base 64. It just keeps going back and forth. Do it again? I did. I did it like 3 times. Is that PGP? No, it's not. If it was PGP, it would have had the lines like a Linda's file. Let me see if I can find it. It would have, showed something. Okay, her file's dead. But it would have showed begin PGP message at the top. So I don't think this is, PGP. Something about this file, though, does not sit right with me. The same format as base 64, yeah, but watch. Look at this top line. Look at this top line. VIR, whatever the fuck. Now watch what happens when I decode this. Okay, so VM. So VM1. And now we're back to VM0. But wait, it's changing each time. I'm fairly certain that it's changing each time. What the hell? This is some next level encryption. Encode out as a file then? If this doesn't work, then I can decrypt. Then I can try and decrypt the file. I think we're at the end. Live mode. Have we seen PC0 yet? I think it's just a base 64 loop. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm encoding! I'm an idiot! I'm an actual fucking idiot. I was encoding instead of decoding. I'm an idiot. The biggest idiot ever. I'm the biggest dumbass to ever live. And that was all caught on a live stream. Someone managed to send an email from my account, and now Linda's gone. This wasn't a coincidence. Someone made this happen. Did they kidnap her? Damn it, I'm afraid to ask. It's been a week since then. I could be forgiven for thinking she never existed. I don't know anyone else who knew her. I feel so helpless knowing that I'll probably never understand what happened that day. I don't think I'm the only one who thinks of the possibility of the world being an illusion. Projected by a supernatural being deceiving me. Perhaps it's Eddie. Maybe Linda was no longer used to follow the experiment. What frustrates me most is the knowledge that even if such a thing is the case, not only will I eventually forget this ever happened. But hold on. I don't think I'm the only one who thinks of the possibility of the world being an illusion. Projected by a supernatural being deceiving me. Perhaps deciding me? Maybe Linda was no longer a useful part of the experiment. What frustrates me most is the knowledge that even if such a thing is the case, not only will I eventually forget this ever happened, but it will be the rational cause of action, because the more time passes, the hazier the memory will become. And the less grounds I will have thinking that anything suspicious happened that day. I'll start to suspect that I misunderstood what I saw somehow, or that it was a lucid dream I had one day, and I began to think so obsessively about it that I started to remember it as a genuine experience. It's not enough one doesn't sometimes have a transient uncertainty after waking from an old dream. I will inevitably forget that this happened, and I will be able to do so. It's not that the supernatural being is impervious to me, it's that deception, properly executed, is impervious to rationality, because it enslaves it. Yeah. Hell yeah, Albert. Anyway, it really is you. How about, look, I don't have any money, but we also are in critical condition. She's been vomiting blood and screaming. Please tell me you help her. I'll find a way to... Of course. Follow me. Albert leaves the room where he directs Fanny to set Libertine on the bed. He asks Linda a few questions about what Libertine has been through. To my surprise, Linda doesn't hold the beans. She tells Albert that Libertine was tortured at a secret cult facility and activated supernatural powers and saved us all. I find this believable. What? It's not the first I've seen of such things. I have one other mysterious patient. A girl with a knife and a white ribbon who appears spontaneously. With a horrible stab wound. Witnesses said she seemed disappeared, then reappeared without a wound and passed out. A consummation brought her to me. Can we see her? She's a friend. Of course. Room 12. While Albert tends to Libertina, the rest of us go to visit Monica. Monica's on the bed unconscious. Oh, thank goodness she's alive. I told you it would be okay. That doesn't make it okay for you to lie to us like that, though. The huge wound where he gave her is gone. Even her uniform no longer has a bloodstain. She deleted and restored herself. I guess she prevented the spot you and Daniel and her were ambushed in. Wait a minute. If she could delete and restore herself, that means she kept her admin powers. We're in luck. Once she wakes up, she can probably help us figure out what we need to do now. Well, I guess Monica can't talk yet. We might as well go back. How did it go? Glad to see you're alive. Thanks, Albert. How long did you think it'll be before she wakes up? No idea. If, like you say, she was affected by supernatural forces, I may not be able to do much for her. I'll do what I can, though. For the time being, I'm waiting for the scan to finish. It'll take a while, so in the meantime, Linda, I'm ready to hear more about what's happened. Of course. We tell him everything that's happened. That's quite a story. I can see how you decide to make it into a novel. I understand if you don't believe us. I don't think I would have believed myself. I won't lie, I found it very convenient how you can't provide any proof. But I suppose I'll see soon enough. If it's true, then when Monica wakes up, she can put me through to this. In the meantime, you're welcome to stay here. Thank you, Albert. I can also bring food. I imagine you're all hungry. Yes! Thank you so much. That's very generous of you, Albert. Thank you. We ended up spending the night at Albert's hospital. We really owe this guy. We have a lot of downtime that evening. I get you to come up to the roof with me. Terrific timing. We get to watch the sunset. Indeed, coming up here was a wonderful idea. And if there was ever a day that deserved to end watching the sunset together, definitely. There's something I need to talk to her about. Fury, now that we know what Markov was, I know it's insane that you liked that book even when you didn't know it was about us. I hope that doesn't sound offensive. I feel that way too. But it's not insane. People read books about horrible things happening all the time. In fact, all stories involve it to some degree. One could say imagining the suffering of others is the cornerstone of all stories. It only starts with seeing what's real. Huh. I wonder if I could write a poem about that. And it's like, I don't think Albert owns the hospital, I just think he's a doctor. I don't know. I wonder if I could write a poem about that. And it's like, in some sense, sadism is a core element to one of our main forms of recreation. Yikes. Giving giggles. The same knife cuts both flesh and vegetables. A singular tool of War and Peace. Also, before you ask, I haven't got myself since the literature club. Can you blame me for being a little paranoid at first? I suppose not. But I haven't really felt tempted. Every time since then I've been stressed out. I was with all of you. Sorry. Has lack of solitude been upsetting? Not really. I feel like our bonds have gotten so much stronger than it feels completely different from how it used to be. Knowing Natsuki's my sister and all. Yeah. And all the trouble we got up to with me and Sarah and Monica trying to find you before Markov did. Pat, have you imagined what might come next? Come next? I prefer not to stress out the future after everything we went through today. It isn't like the prospects of the future are all stressful ones. I'm eager to meet Libertina. Outside of that hard place. I guess that'll be interesting. Assuming she doesn't open the third eye again and do any more distortion. Pat, do you want to kiss now? So, since we got interrupted last time? Yeah. It's kinda good we got interrupted. Now first kiss can be in the sunset. Keith. Welcome back, bun. I'm woken by sounds of cry. Okay, I think this point is what I haven't played. I played parts 1 and 2 of this already, but since I've forgotten everything about it, I've replayed it from the beginning. I think now is the point where we start, like, quote unquote part 3 of Return to the Project. So I know nothing of what happens now. So this is all new. This is all blind from now on. I'm woken by sounds of crying. I lay still for a minute. I feel like it's the middle of the night. Sounds like Monica? But again, I open my eyes. Monica? Oh, Pat. I sit up. I'm so sorry. I can't. Okay, calm down, Monica. Everyone else is on to wake up too. Monica's awake? I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm not a monster, I promise. I couldn't stop it. It was God. Okay, hold on. What do you mean by that? The third eye. The temptation. It felt like God. Are you planning to complete the whole mod in one go? No. This is part 2. I'm probably gonna end soon too, since it's getting close to 1 p.m. Don't worry, Monica, we understand. And the plan worked. You broke the script and that allowed us to get out. Thank you. Thank goodness. It wasn't for nothing. Are you all okay? Why is it 1 p.m. there? Because I'm in ESC? Yeah, I live in East Coast, USA. I'm EST. So it's 12:38 p.m. now. And, yeah. Probably gonna end in a bit, so, yeah. I'm in America, where all of us are fucking stupid. Yeah. But I think I have a phobia of you holding a knife now. For shit's sake, I thought you were gonna make a single cut, not fucking kill me. It's 7:40 p.m. here? Where do you live? Well, it's 7:40 p.m. For me, it's a mix of Pacific and Eastern time. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. What country do you live in, Sakurai? You're 6 hours ahead of me. Or many hours behind me, depending on where you live. Turkey, it is hot a bit below. Oh, sweet. Okay, so you live in Turkey, yeah. So you are 6 hours ahead of me. Or something. I don't know. Monica squeezes a few more tears. Turkey's good. I love turkey. Live in Germany? Hell yeah! Yeah.
You're 6 hours ahead of me, yep. Oh jeez, I'm so sorry.
I just wish I could take it back. Well, like Linda said, it worked. You probably had to do what you did. The third eye gets tickled from your blood, but to open it all the way and get the ability to break the rules, you have to spill a lot. Probably getting less than what you did wouldn't have worked. You're not Libertina. Well, maybe you would have enough to do whatever berserk admin emoji you did. Yeah. I flip on to the last one, we kind of adventures since Markov was with us. Wow. I can't believe you went through all that without me. Remember being clear now, though. So, Monica, you can dispense all our boxes? We haven't been able to get through them since London, so you're both lost our admin status. Yeah, I should be able to. I can hear you guys. Great! I can reach him. So, where are we? I don't know. I'm confused about this world. There's other people in it, even with admin status. And that means it must be real, right? But the world must still be virtual, because Markov and I have admin powers. I think this world's just like the DLC, the only difference is that there are more prisoners. But if the world's full of people, can it really be fake? Isn't it effectively real, the people you are with? You're right. The only thing that makes Spencer's world count as real is that it's where the rest of the world is.
I should really make sentence. Although backseating should be a known rule to not do, or to not tell the streamer what to do, because that's just common sense.
I guess this world's kind of real then. It might be the realest world we'll ever get. I'll be disappointed if I can't escape the Spencer's world. But a world where meaningful life is possible is as much as I could expect. If this world is what it seems to be, then I'm free. We're all free.
So does that mean, assuming Markov doesn't come back? I forgot what is part 2 or part 3 because I played this. I think this is the tail end of quote-unquote part 2. And then I'm assuming the next fade out is the ending of part 2 and the start of part 3.
Assuming Markov doesn't come back. We won? We escaped to a reality? That's what we set out to achieve, right? We just have to make sure this world is safe from Markov and his cult. I doubt he's really dead if he was an admin. Although I don't know why he's not withdrawing himself.
He's not giving himself a file. Baddies never had to write out formal chat lists before, but there's always sufficient for everything based on what we've. Yeah, that's true. Like, I never actually had an issue with this stuff before until recently.
He's not giving himself a file. Maybe he got kind of messed up like Sam and I did by the emergency purge. But also,
you have the problem with the DLC?
We couldn't survive Spence in the game off. Spence, we have to try this. I'm really scared to find out, but I'll have to eventually. Just make a save first.
Okay, here we go. Save time. Also, I like how the autosave is a save that's within the menu save. Well, I just saved over it instead of loading it. I'm a big dumb idiot. Anyway, yeah, no, but still, even though you aren't back, even though you haven't played it, backseating is still telling the streamer what to do, even if you haven't played it. Oh. Load the game. Okay, that was a bit... No, that wasn't it.
Or, you want to turn the game off?
I did. Then it worked. I've had encounters, but no nightmares. But wait, did time pass? I'm ending in a bit, too, so we're gonna have to pick this up another day, but I'll get through, this scene, and then we'll end it. No. The timestamp. Time passes sensible, but not on this one. This world is still dependent on the viewport. Monica is facing on a nearby table. Our quest is not over. Hold on a sec. This world must have been running with our viewport just fine before we all got here. Are you telling me connecting the viewport made this world dependent on it? That's what it sounds like to me. Then we just dragged everyone else in this world into our problem? I think so. But I will find a way to fix it. Oh, it does get better later on? Okay. I haven't played part 3, so no spoilers for part 3. Because this will be my first time seeing part 3. Wait. This change when Spence changed the viewport destination, right? Maybe it'll fix the viewpoints back to the DLC world. Maybe. I think it's too risky just right now, though. If it didn't work and Spence couldn't connect back here, everyone in this world will be dead. Frozen forever. Fortnite feet? Let's go on, Zrani. We can't risk such a thing. Since you wouldn't mind helping us a little longer, would you? Sure. I'll stick around as long as it takes. Sure. Thanks. It's not like he deserves any praise for it. Natsuki. He'd be basically a mass murderer if he didn't. Well, I guess that's true. So what are we doing? How will we make sure it's safe for Spence to point the viewport away? I don't know. But there are a lot of things left to investigate. I should go to the place where Libertine and broke everything. That sounds like there might be clues there. Markov also probably knows more if he's still alive. Assuming he is, if it's possible. We should try to interrogate him. But for the time being, we should wait for Libertine to wake up before we do anything. She might be able to tell us more. We head over to Libertine's room. Okay. I flipped the lights. She looks fine externally. She vomited quite a lot of blood. She's definitely not fine on the inside. Yeah. Hold on, we might have to fix this. Since have you tried to lean with Libertina? No, it's too weird to mess her up. Ah, well, she must be in terrible condition. We should really heal her if we can, but I see your concern. I'll trust your judgment. Try character reset. Character reset. Markov used it to prevent Libertina from dying, and it also helped us get Linda back so you brought everything in your fancy. Alright. Libertina, reset. Success return code. I don't know how to know if it did anything though. I guess we'll find out when she wakes up. Yeah. Also, what about the content of Libertina's file? Huh, it's a picture of a portal of some kind. Yep. We knew that much. I don't know what to make of it yet. You to see Markov's file. I took the literally basics about the code again. You gotta read it. Okay, just put the code text in the file. I can't easily do that myself. There's a Python in their library function for basic coding, you know. There is? Import that. Oh, neat. Okay. Write it down. Yep. There we go. Reread it. We already read it, so yeah. What the beginning is the quote from the Having a Weekend file. Linda, did we ever ask you what was with that Having a Weekend file? No. I don't remember anything about that one. I'm not sure if I got there. So did Markov write this? It sounds believable. Does he believe in gods? He may just be using it metaphorically. Okay, now I really want to know what the bittersweet aftertaste of the past is. I haven't had the time before he started this. I read over the message again. I guess it could be. Libertina stirs, so beginning to wake up. The rest of us fall silent. She does open her eyes. Libertina! You okay? Libertina sits up. What happened? Her speech is barely audible. You saved us all.
After you passed out, we got you to a hospital. Thank you all so much. I've lived in that hellhole for as long as I can remember. I don't know if I ever knew anything else. I thought I'd never feel whole. I must have had a different life before, though. Because I remember feeling this way. Feeling not broken. I remember knowing what it was like to love someone. And to have any comfort in life other than the pleasures of the eye. They distort you. When violence is your only friend for so long, you learn to like it aesthetically. Fuck, the worst part was how they gave me dreams about escaping so many damn times. Yuri sheds a few tears. I know this pain. They did that to me too. Yuri gets a witching a brief hug. Alyssa, I guess she recognizes Yuri? Do you remember when you tried to kill me? Yes! Do you understand now? I understood then. I wanted so badly to let you kill me. But I knew Markov would reset me. It wouldn't have been the first time I tried to kill myself. I wanted to talk to you about it, but they wouldn't let me. And then I had to listen to you die. I heard you scream through the wall. God, that was a nightmare. Tried to convince myself it was for a few days. You were the only person I ever tried to help me for, and you were the only one to keep exploiting me. I missed you, Alyssa. If only I'd known. I thought you didn't want my help. It made me feel even worse. And I started vomiting blood when they dragged me back to my cell. No, I didn't mean to affect you with that. I'm so sorry, Alyssa. Wait, do you know something about that? Not really. It just happens sometimes when I sort things. It wasn't your fault. Markov is the one responsible. Thanks. But why are Rennie and the other examiner here? Levitina points to Linda. Apparently she's never found out her name. Aren't they the enemy? Yikes. I'm surprised how calm she is if you recognize them as the cultists who experimented on her. I was being kept in the dark. I didn't know what was going on there. And I'm different now. They convinced me it was for the greater good. But when I had my first experience with the third eye, I stopped believing it. Linda and I tried to sabotage them. Wait, Linda as in... Linda Watson? The woman I killed? Don't worry, that's all in the past. I think most of us have pretty much lost the ability to be surprised by finding out we murder each other. Really? So is Linda's file here now? No. Okay. Really? Yeah. Adam to all of us playing hell now. But hey, at least none of our deaths have been permanent. Don't worry about it, Libitina. I think you more than made up for it, saving all back there. Well, you're welcome. You saved me. I still feel like we should talk about your justification for murdering Linda. Do you actually think that, or were you just being affected by the script or whatever? I mean, it kind of makes sense. I know it seems wrong, but... What the shit? That's literal murder! Why makes you different from any other monstrous killer? I don't think I would cause any suffering. Oh yeah, there's the mod link for anyone that wants it. If anyone wants to play this themselves, or get a head start on part 3, so that you know what to expect and want some reactions to it. That's different. You're lying to yourself. You think you still believe that if I tried to kill you? It might be a favor to me. It's still amazing in a happy sense that Libitina is writing this mod as the one with the white hair and the white girl. Yeah. The same one that's in Natsuki's file. Or, yeah. I think. Yeah. But if that weren't the case, then yeah. I mean, I want to die before you kill me, but once I'm dead, how can I be the victim? You just admitted that it could be a favor. That's true, then it could just be as well be the opposite. You just proved you already know on the inside that what you did was evil. No. I just meant I might see it as one beforehand. And you think that's something to stop mattering after you're dead? I'm sorry, Maria. But I won't claim to believe something I don't. I understand. You're a horrible person. We're only working with it and this has to be okay.
Libertina nods.
My throat is killing me right now from all this talking. I'm sure you think you're perfect enough, Libertina. You'd never appreciate being alive, have you? Well, I think I did during that first virtual reality experience. I really don't have an excuse in your eyes. I feel bad that you have to think I'm a horrible person right after you rescued me. Oh, it doesn't say this way. So, how'd you all get here? Okay, as much as I want to get through this scene, my throat's killing the hell out of me. So, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna end this part here. A lot of shit happened. A lot of shit's been happening. A lot of shit's been going on. We read the portrait of Markov, both versions. We found out everything that was told by that portrait of Markov, and now we're here with Libertina, and now we don't know what's gonna happen next, but what we do know is that it's gonna be epic, and yeah, no stream tomorrow. I'm gonna take a day off to like, you know, just kind of rest and chill out a bit. Next stream, I don't know when that'll be, but just know that the next stream that I do, will be of this, and we will be potentially finishing that stream. But yeah, with that being said,